Sweet. Naruto couldn't help himself. The unconditional firebrand. Basic perk on his weapon was a plus considering it gave it a 25% chance of putting chi burning on them. And with zombies having a nasty as hell flaw for fire, it made it all the sweeter. The only downside being it only lasted an hour and needed to be lit on fire. Ah well, beggars can't be choosers. It was better than nothing, all things considered. Glancing up at his HP, Naruto was happy to see he had recovered more than enough to be comfortable and slowly peeked out the door. Seeing the all clear, Naruto left the room and tried to reduce the amount of noise as much as possible. Upon seeing a broken window that was wide enough for him to through, Naruto once more looked around for any foes and was fortunate enough that no zombies were near. That was the good news. The bad news. The cat was back. Too far away for him to reach it in time, Naruto summed up his situation in 2 words. Ah, shit. The black cat, on the other hand, had an unsettling smirk and a glint in its eye that was equally unsettling. Naruto knew he was screwed and knew what was coming next. He prepared for the worst. Murgi. K. What the? Of all of the things Naruto expected to happen, seeing the cat's head being enveloped by a series of curved fangs and its body being crushed by the coils of a green-skinned, brown-spotted, yellow-eyed constrictor was the nowhere on the list. With a sudden jerk, the cat's neck was snapped, and it evaporated into a series of lights. Trying to make a dash for it out the window, Naruto barely touched the ground before he was swiftly dragged back inside and felt himself bound so tightly he believed his eyes would pop. Before he could wonder what was going on, Naruto heard the sound of shoes creaking across the wooden floor. Thinking it was a zombie, Naruto struggled as best he could, but his efforts were for naught. I wouldn't bother, Gaki. Once Midori's got you in his coils, you're fucked. Maybe it was the slow lack of oxygen flowing to his brain. But Naruto swore that sounded very familiar. As he looked up, Naruto was very surprised by the familiar sight. Fortunately for him, the snake eased up on its constricting, which allowed him to shout, "Anko! What the hell are you doing?" "Oh, shush." The woman silenced him with a finger. But Naruto wasn't put at ease by the action. "Actually, I'd like to tell you a little story first before we go there." Her voice sounded sweet, but experience taught him otherwise. Somehow, and for whatever reason, she was mad at him. To start, I got up and went to work and found out a rookie interrogator in training decided to play in the big leagues, and surprise, fucked up badly. Probing at a guy I'd been trying to crack for weeks and set my work back for who knows how long. Later on, I had a huge craving for dango and decided to go to my favorite spot. And you know what I learned when I got there. It was closed for the week. Next, I stepped in dog shit and got pissed on by some Inuzuka brat's ninkin, which ruined my favorite coat. Naruto winced at the last one. He himself had been the victim of such an occurrence. Well, at least Kiba's gonna die after me. And then when I go looking for you to prank the little shit, I see you go into some alley. Stood behind you to see how long it would take for you to notice me. Just as I was about to scare the living hell out of ya. And here's the part I love. I somehow get transported into a post-apocalyptic world with zombies by some wet behind-the-ears academy student who I've been trying to find for the last half hour. What the hell is going on? Well, it's... kinda complicated, Naruto said, which ended up being the wrong thing to say. No sooner had his words left his lips was he suddenly pulled up by the scruff of his torn shirt towards the mad, and that was in both sense of the word, purple-haired Kunoichi. "Don't test me, Gaki," Anko almost snarled. "I'm stuck here, been attacked by zombies, stalked by some fucking cat that calls more of them, haven't had strange in the last couple of months, and worst of all, I haven't had my dango in the last week. Mama needs her fix." Naruto whimpered at the woman's crazed expression. If looks could kill, Naruto knew he'd be dead countless times already, and in many unique ways. "So this can go down 2 ways, Gaki. Either you spill your guts, or I spill them for you, cover them in hot sauce and spices, make you eat them before feeding you to Midori over here." She patted the constrictor lovingly. If snakes could purr, Naruto knew it would be doing it right now, judging by the look of content on its face. Not wanting his guts spilled, as well as the other frighteningly detailed acts, Naruto was about to tell her the whole story before he came to his senses. "Hey, wait a minute! You can't kill me," he grinned. "Kid, I work in Konoha's torture and interrogation division. The ways I come up with to kill ya would make the worst movie killers look like saints," she explained. Naruto understood the analogy instantaneously, and his smirk was gone. But the still managed to look Anko in the eye and say, "Look, I don't know how you got here, but I'm pretty sure that's 'cause of me. You're stuck here with no way out. I'm your only hope of getting out of here," he bluffed. "Shit. Fine, I won't kill you," Naruto smirked. "I'll just break one bone every minute we're here instead. And to make sure you're not going anywhere, Midori." Once more, the blonde found himself tightly wrapped in inescapable hold. "The moment I touched you, I ended up here, and I'm guessing if you try to leave, I'm going along for the ride. You sure you don't want to start talking, Gaki?" She smiled, oh so innocently. Left with no other choice, Naruto told her every last detail about his ability and what it gave him. "And that's the whole story," he finished. Anko and Midori, for their parts, remained impassive, and Naruto didn't know if that was good or bad. "Gaki, are you high or something? I mean, I know you're a ninja in training, and legally you become an adult when you get the headband, but right now, you shouldn't." "I'm not on drugs." They had been taught the significance of drugs and alcohol in the academy, along with a few other embarrassing and gross things, but idea of touching the stuff never occurred to Naruto. "He's telling the truth, Anko-san," the green constrictor hissed. "Really?" Midori merely nodded at her summoner. Naruto was left agape at the action. The snake can talk? Seriously? What the hell kind of academy student doesn't know about summons? The fuck's the academy teaching these brats nowadays? Anko hopefully thought it was just Naruto, because if this was Konoha's future soldiers, they were royally fucked with a rusty kunai. "Yes, the snake can talk," Anko sighed before straightening herself out. "A video game bloodline. That's okay, even with the weird shit I've seen all my life, that's just nuts." "Welcome to my life," Naruto told her. "I find it's easier just to go along with it. Less of a headache that way." "Well, that's one way to look at it," she muttered, absently throwing a kunai that exploded into a group of nearby zombies that neared the window. "This may just be my opinion, but this ability makes me think this may be a unique, very, very unique, by the way, space-time bloodline limit. Even then, it was a weak theory. Space-time. Ninjutsu, as far as she knew, didn't have reality warping capabilities. But then again, she wasn't an expert on the matter. That, or I'm drunk, or this is just one very messed up dream. It wouldn't make sense since she didn't drink last night, as far as she could remember, but it still made more sense than this. Naruto had to wonder if all seasoned ninja had this kind of mentality, or if Anko was the exception. Either way, it sure made things easier for him. Who was he to fight good fortune when it came his way? Gotta admit, this is certainly one for the books. Part of her was still thinking she was dreaming, or had drunk too much, but everything was way too vivid. "Sue? What do we do now?" Anko wouldn't freely admit it, but she was out of her comfort zone at the moment. Give her tools and a warm body and she'd fuck it up without batting an eyelash. Anko had no idea what to do in this scenario. The foes she met were weak and slow as hell. A single punch or two from her was enough to turn them into particles of light, and her cotton ninjutsu was basically a one-hit kill. "Well, I came here to level up," Naruto told her, as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. "You mean you're not scared or hesitant about killing them?" Anko was surprised really at the ease of which he spoke of it. Even prodigies, most of them, had difficulties killing other beings for the first time, especially humans. Nope. I mean, sure, it's weird, but they're not really alive. Naruto tried to explain as best he could. Also, that cat pissed me off and I killed a few rats before this. Gotta love desensitization, Anko nodded. Then again, the academy right also helps. The academy? What now? Naruto had no idea what she was talking about. The woman blinked once, twice, thrice before she finally spoke. You didn't undergo the rite. Anko nearly shouted before a horrid thought occurred. Didn't any of you go through it? No, was his hesitant response. Anko was left doing the best impression of a fish Naruto had ever seen. It seems the academy standards have greatly gone down, Anko-san, Midori hissed. Under-fucking-statement of the year, Midori, Anko groused at her summit. Note to self, talk to Hokage-sama about this. Long story short, the rite's a twofold test that's used to weed out those who couldn't stomach what it took to be a ninja. The first half, you gotta take the life of an animal at the academy. It wouldn't do Konoha any good if we had ninja who couldn't kill. And the other half? Anko merely looked at him in a manner that said, use your brain. It then quickly dawned on him, a human. We gotta kill a human. Duh. We're ninja. We kill people for a living, Gaki. If you can't handle that, then you might as well stop what you're doing. Anko didn't bother to mention that those they killed in the second half were criminals or bandits. Nor did she mention the fact that a select number of those who didn't pass had an opportunity to still be useful in Konoha, in one of the non-combatant divisions such as the medics, sensory, barrier, or cryptologist divisions. Problem was one needed a certain amount of talent and intelligence and pass a series of tests to be accepted. Technically speaking, you shouldn't be in your last year, Gaki, Anko informed him. Though it may be a case that the academy standards and curriculum changed for the worst. What exactly are the requirements to graduate? The written test for one. Then there's the accuracy and physical exam, and finally the basic academy 3 exam he finished. Okay, so the basic stuff, I get it, and she motioned him to continue. And what? Naruto flinched as Anko howled a stream of curses he never heard of. What the actual bloody fuck? Anko could understand the written test. A ninja needed brains, not just brawn like the legendary stupid brothers. The accuracy and physical exam were equally important as one didn't want a ninja who was physically weak and accidentally struck their own comrades or innocent bystanders, especially the client. Having the Academy 3 were a no-brainer. But just knowing the basic academy ninjutsu wasn't enough for one to become a ninja. When she had graduated years ago, and she graduated much earlier, Anko had to demonstrate proficient use of 3 C-rank techniques, with at least one of them being lethal when used against another. Sure, it was up to the Jonin instructor to mentor their wards, but they weren't there to babysit them either. The academy graduates were basically blades that had yet to be refined and tempered. It was the job of the Junin to make sure this happened to them before they got into real-life situations. If this was the current standards, things really weren't looking good for Konoha. Many had heard how Kiri had changed the standards that made them be known as the Bloody Mist. But even then the standards were still high and demanding. Heck, in Kumo, it was a prerequisite that all genin be proficient in the use of kenjutsu before graduation and the chakra flow technique. Note to self, kick Umino's ass. The academy instructor had some serious explaining to do in her mind. Even if it wasn't his fault, she still needed someone to vent on, and she couldn't very well kick the Hokage's ass. The man can kill me before I have time to blink. Speaking of which, duck, Anko called out before sending Midori towards a zombie behind Naruto, the constrictor quickly wrapping around the undead and crushing its head with her jaw. That tasted vile. The serpent gagged. Though she had nothing in her mouth, she could still taste the rotten flesh on her ultra-sensitive tongue. Never make me do that again, the summon hissed at the purple-haired Kunoichi. Didn't tell you to bite it, Midori. Anko blinked before she walked over and picked up a bill of ryo. Wah, you know what, I'm not gonna bother. Zombies dropping money isn't the weirdest thing I should expect from what I've been seeing. Plus, I have more spending money for Dango. Anko grinned, and Naruto could honestly say he was a little disturbed by it. You mean you didn't notice it before? Naruto asked. Too busy looking for you to really notice. So, you mentioned something about leveling up. What's that about? She asked after a pause. Grinding. Mostly. At her confused look, he elaborated. It means killing a bunch of enemies to level up quickly. Every zombie I kill gives me experience points. I get enough of them and I level up, which increases my stats and gives me AP. Naruto explained. Anko nodded at the explanation, having no experience with video games or the lingo of it all. So by leveling up, you get stronger. I killed a bunch of M's, so will that do anything to me? She wondered. Don't know if the same rules apply to you as they do to me. But if it's like video games I played, I doubt it. Your level is very high compared to them. You may just be getting loot, or the amount of XP is very low. Like, you'd have to kill over 1,000 of EM to get close enough to level up, Naruto explained. Makes sense, Anko thought. Sorta. So how do we find out? Naruto was about to shrug, as he didn't have an answer, but a pop-up appeared before him. Party. Formation. Party forming is a great way for adventurers to level up and acquire loot without fearing for their safety. Having a group has many benefits, such as being able to defeat more enemies and allowing you to defeat much stronger foes you otherwise couldn't face. However, forming a party is not without its downsides. As a result of you no longer being in as much danger, you will not be pushing yourself. The experience you gain will be reduced. Groups of 4 will allow you to fight without any penalties on the experience you gain from enemies. Groups of 5 and upwards will reduce the total experience gained by 5% per additional member for a total of 75%. In addition, while having higher level members offers greater security, any experience made by said members whose level is 20 levels higher than others, despite the contribution of lower level individuals, will be reduced by 75%. To form a party, you must either think or say the words invite insert person's last and first name and have the recipient accept. So all I have to do is think or say, invite Mitarashi Anko. Naruto thought. Whoa, what the hell? Naruto looked up and saw a floating text box in front of Anko. What is this? What's going on? Well, that was easy, he thought. It's an invite box. All you gotta do is accept and we're in a party. Okay, yes. Nothing happened. Anko frowned at the floating text box. I think you have to press it for it to work, Naruto guessed. His assumption was proven true, as no sooner had Anko pressed YS did the box disappear. Furthermore, Naruto noticed he could now view her status window despite her level. Status window. Name: Mitarashi Anko. Job: Tokubetsu Jonin. Relationship: Level: 50. Next level: 8,1876, 120,900. HP: 3,075. CP: 2,525. Star: 66. Vit: 123. End: 101. Dex: 118. Int: 115. Wis: 99. Cha: 101. Look: 54. Defense: 50. Specialization: Torture and Interrogation, Ninja. Special perks: Gamer's Companion. You can view and live your life like a video game. You can now acquire AP and CP. Must be in party with the gamer. Perks: Gifted Ninja. 10% effectiveness, power and exp towards all skills. 10% exp earned on missions and defeated foes. 1. Additional attribute point per LV. Serpentine Grace. 2 dex per LV, 25% speed increase towards Utaijutsu skill, Chuvasion skill, Chunter skill, 25% power towards critical hits. Heightened. Tolerance, immune to basic, intermediate and expert LV poisons. Tolerance towards master LV poisons, increased by 75%. Tolerance towards Grandmaster LV poisons, increased by 50%. Tolerance towards legendary LV poisons, increased by 25%. Titles. T. Expert. 2. Chopper LV 85% effectiveness and XP. Towards OTT skill, 85% effectiveness, and XP towards intimidation skill. Toxicology Expert. 60% effectiveness, power, and XP towards N poisons. 60% XP towards detoxicology skill. Snake. Mistress of Konoha. 25% reputation gain towards a Konoha population below neutral. 25% effectiveness, power, and XP towards U combination techniques skill with e Konoha populace below neutral. Topetsu Jonin. 25% XP towards quests and enemies. Slain, only for character level up. Gain 25 AP a year you hold this title. Flaws, debuffs. Sealed, Cursed Seal of Heaven. 30% effectiveness, power, and XP towards skills. 30% towards base attributes. 30% XP towards quests and enemies slain. Reduces bonuses from perks, titles, and special perks by 30%. Can be removed. Description. Not much is known about Mitarashi Anko's past, as she tends to keep to herself and only opens up to those she truly trusts. Hailed as a skilled ninja at a very young age, Anko later went on to become one of Konoha's top torture and interrogation specialists and an accomplished tracker, accomplishing tasks where others other than the Inuzuka failed. Due to her tutelage, Anko is one of Konoha's best toxicologists, having used and created many unique poisons, both in the field and during interrogations. Her love of dango is quite well known and feared in certain circles, some say surpassing even Uzumaki Naruto's love for ramen. Attribute points, 0. Special perk points, 0. I think I saw things I probably shouldn't have. Fortunately for Naruto, the woman in question was distracted long enough not to notice it. Okay, this is really weird. The tea specialist mused and began to fiddle with a few things. What's this AP and SPP? Attribute points and special perk points. Naruto informed her and explained their function. Damn. With an ability like this, your skill as a ninja would shoot through the roof, and then some in no time, Anko surmised. So, if I kill enough of these undead bastards, I can level up. Yep. But your level's pretty high already, so trying to level here won't be quick for you compared to me. Here he showed her the experience bar and how much she needed to level up. Furthermore, Naruto added, and once all of them are gone, we're gonna have to wait 24 hours before they come back. Well, that blows. I already killed a bunch of M before I found you. Screw it. The Ryo you earn will have to do. Come again, Naruto deadpanned. You heard me, Gaki. You brought me here against my will, so you owe me. Half of what you earn is mine as recompense. That means as punishment, she elaborated. Half? Are you kidding me? The amount of Ryo he could earn here could be close to 10,000. You can earn more than enough if you kill them yourself. You one-off them like they're nothing. True, Anko wouldn't deny that. But out of both of us, you have the most to gain by killing MM. I kill him and I'd barely put a dent in the experience I get. Naruto frowned at the woman's logic. However, there was no way Naruto was giving away half that. How about I owe you a 10 pranks? Naruto bargained. He failed instantaneously. Nope. Anko shot down his offer barely a second later. 20 pranks. Was he counteroffer? Anko didn't even bat an eyelash this time. Thinking on the spot, Naruto offered once more, 5 pranks and 2,000 ryo. He hoped. Anko said nothing for nearly 30 seconds before she gave her own counter-offer, 7 pranks and 3,000 ryo. Naruto countered once again, 7 pranks, 2,000 ryo. Anko frowned. Don't insult me, Gaki. 5 pranks and 3,500 ryo. Naruto wanted to curse. Bartering was something he was relatively new at, while Anko clearly knew what she was doing. Not wanting to tempt fate and have the price to go up once more, Naruto finally relented and accepted Anko's latest offer. Deal? Anko merely grinned like a cat at her win. Naruto ignored the pop-up regarding his Adverganing skill increasing to level 2. Pleasure doing business with ya, Gaki, Naruto glared. Anko stuck her tongue out like a child. Midori shook her head at the childish antics of humans. Deciding he focus on the task at hand, Anko said, Well, now that that's settled, go kill some zombies. Midori, stay close and watch the kid. Though he didn't say anything, Naruto was actually touched that Anko was thinking of his well-being. Don't coddle him, but make sure his ass stays out of the fire, Anko told her familiar. We're screwed if he dies on us. Naruto realized he'd have to downsize his comment on the caring part, and he decided not to bother telling her about the fact he could die, but still come back from it. Sometime later, smashing his pipe into the back of another ninja zombie's head, Naruto was satisfied to see its head catch fire and watch it flail around like a headless chicken. The action only served his purposes when it barreled into a group of undead, knocking them down and causing them to catch fire, too. Grabbing a poor-quality shuriken he got from a previous ninja zombie, Naruto attached a U-Poor grade exploding tags, a rare drop from the same zombie, and threw it at the group. Poor grade's exploding tags were the weakest of the exploding tags, as while they were still functional, the formulas used to make them were horrible. At the bare minimum, they only dealt 115 damage. The tag was used more for controlled demolition work, and was a threat only when used in large numbers and only on the weakest of foes. Case in point, the group exploded and was scattered pretty much everywhere. Those that managed to survive either lost limbs or died when they crashed into a surface. A good and decisive blow to the head ended them quickly, and Naruto proceeded to collect the dropped loot. Off to the side, Naruto saw Anko's summon watching from the shadows. Any zombie or cat dumb enough to try and attack the deadly serpent more or less ended up dead almost instantaneously. Naruto couldn't help but shudder. The summon used every part of its body as a weapon, from its maw filled with sharp, venomous teeth, to its tail that asphyxiated or skewered her foes as if it was a spear. Thank Kami she's on my side. Naruto knew that if she were his enemy he'd be dead, or worse, eaten alive. Okay, that makes 72 zombies and 2 cats. Naruto huffed a bit before whipping the sweat off his face. The blonde had to admit he was getting a decent workout going through actual combat instead of what he usually did. He had little time to rest as another horde of undead waddled and limped their way towards him. Off to the shadows and out of Naruto's sight, Anko spoke to her familiar. How's the brat doing? She asked. The boy has good instincts. His tactical thinking is unorthodox, but I can't deny its effectiveness at times. But his need to mind his surroundings requires improvement. More than once did Midori see Naruto stumble or fail to notice an enemy before they got a decent blow. He also has a bad habit of letting his emotions get the better of him, and I noticed that it gets him into trouble when he could have easily dealt with his foes. His fighting style is instinctive but poorly structured. All in all, he has potential but needs a tune-up, desperately, was Midori's assessment. Anko sighed but nodded in agreement. Naruto did have potential, but he was shaping up to be a piss poor ninja in the making if things continued as they were. The woman could only wonder how the other students at the academy fared, too. Her thoughts on the matter didn't linger that long, as an unholy and soulless scream resonated from everywhere. Anko winced but didn't need to block the sound as it quickly ended. What the hell was that? Anko wondered and had a gut feeling. It was a gut feeling that was developed after years of experience. The undead. They're amassing 2 blocks away from here, Midori informed. As a snake summoned, the serpent could sense and see in ways ordinary snakes couldn't. The zombies lacked chakra, but had something else that allowed her to track them. And right now she could see that they were also joining in at the same location. But that wasn't the oddest thing. They're fusing. Midori sounded confused, while Anko looked confused. That confusion turned into worry as an incredibly large bellow rang and caused the walls and nearby structures to vibrate. Warning! Warning! Dungeon boss requirements met. Dungeon boss has now appeared. Oh, that can't be good. Anko's suspicions were proven right moments later when a dark grayish being that towered over the buildings appeared. Boss, Legion Zombie, Alvil, 34. HP. CP. Stir. Vit, it. End. Dex. Int. Eind. Wis. Da. Ein. Look. Defense. Special perks. Perks. Titles. Flaws, debuffs. Description. Whenever zombies of the dungeon feel threatened due to mass hunting, they met at a nearby location in large numbers and merge into this unholy 25-foot-tall creature. The result is creating a conglomerate of hundreds of zombies, hence the name Legion. Unlike regular zombies, this abomination has slight intelligence thanks to the collective minds of those used to birth it. But even then, it's not that impressive. Its huge body grants it an enormous amount of strength and health, allowing it to smash buildings with relative ease and crush its foes with minimum blows. However, its large intimating size is also its greatest weakness, as it makes it an easy target to strike, and it cannot move very fast. X-Burn. Drops. Here it is, y'all. Sorry. Chapter 4. To go up, you go down. Naruto could only think of 3 things to say the moment he saw the incredibly tall behemoth of merged undead. Oh, come on! Naruto was not one to back down from a challenge. The ninja in training constantly pushed himself to surpass his limits, physically and ninjutsu-wise, that is, to prove he wasn't what many proclaimed him to be. A failure. Coming to this dungeon, Naruto was eager for action and the opportunity that it represented. But there was opportunity and a chance to prove one's self-worth. And then there was suicide and overkill. Towering in front of him was the latter too. If he counted his video games, this zombie was easily the largest he had ever encountered. Naruto had leveled up and improved in the last week, but the gap between his current level and a level 34 boss, with unknown attributes, was huge. Even then, it didn't take a genius to know this thing's physical strength was crazy high. He'd wager it was more than enough to crush him like one would a bug, without much effort. Large things, such as these, tended to be slow, so Naruto guessed he had speed on his side. However, it wasn't always the case. Naruto was stubborn and pig-headed and performed stunts that had many questioning his intelligence on more than one occasion. But even he wasn't asinine enough to face an opponent he likely had no chance of winning against. Certainly, he wouldn't die per se, but Naruto didn't want to lose all his hard-earned experience points. I'd risk it if it were only 10 levels higher. Opponents that were 10 levels higher than his own level were difficult but doable, if he planned it right. And very rewarding. Being 27 levels higher was another story. Even in large groups of the same level at best, it would be doable but difficult. But Naruto was currently doing a solo act and his skills and personal resources were extremely limited. He had plenty of tricks and ingenuity on his side, and his lack of decent skills came into play once more. He doubted they would help much against something that lacked any semblance of intelligence. "Hey, what the hell is that thing?" Anko asked as she landed behind him. "The dungeon boss," was Naruto's reply. "Dungeon boss. Basically the strongest baddie you'll encounter in the dungeon. Big rewards but big trouble to deal with, unless one's level and attributes matched it. Okay, have fun. What? The recently turned teen exclaimed. Just busting your chops, Gaki, Anko grinned. I'm gonna throw you a bone here, mostly 'cause I don't want to be stuck here if you die. I'll deal with it, but any money it drops is mine. Nice to see you care, Naruto grumbled, but had little choice on the matter. He had few skills or decent equipment to do much against a foe this strong. He had his creativity, but once more that would only get him so far. Stupid academy and them not teaching anything but the basic crap. Roro, the large undead being bellowed. Naruto had to plug his ears from the loud sound, while Anko merely blinked. What the hell is it doing? Ain't it supposed to, I dunno, try and smash us? And true to her word, Naruto watched as the large undead being lumbered away, crushing buildings as it walked through them without a care in the world. No assault came their way. Guessed the Legion. Zombie's description was generous with the whole intelligence thing. In essence, the being was ridiculously big, but just as stupid. Lame. Anko wanted to have a decent challenge at least, but it appeared that wasn't going to be the case. Hey, Gaki, you up for a challenge? Challenge. Naruto was curious but narrowed his eyes. What kind? Nothing too bad. Just bring his health down a notch. Brainless here is nothing compared to some of the beasties and summons you'll see down the road, so it shouldn't be too bad. Midori will stick with you just in case. Think you can handle it? Quest alert. Cutting it down to size. Main quest. Reduce the Legion zombies' health to 75% without Anko's help. Side. Quest 1. Reduce the Legion zombies' health to 50% without Anko's help. Side. Quest 2. Reduce the Legion's zombies' health to 25% without Anko's help. Side. Quest 3. Kill the Legion. Zombie without Anko's help. Main quest completion. 1000 XP. 100 reputation. 1 Co. Side. Quests 1. Completion. 1250 XP. 150. Reputation. Anko. 1. Attribute point. Side. Quests 2. Completion. 1550. 150. Reputation. Wanko. 2. Attribute point. Side. Quest 3. Completion. 2000 XP. 300. Reputation. Anko. 3. Attribute points. Failure. 100 XP. Potential loss of currently earned XP. Except. Yes, no. Special note. Upon completing the main quest, you will have the option of ending and cutting him down to size. Naruto was facing a conundrum. If he accepted the quest, the rewards were pretty good, which they should be due to the large level gap and high probability of failing. But on the other hand, he ran the risk of losing his experience points when he was just about to level up. Naruto, being Naruto, chose the former. Nothing ventured, nothing gained were his thoughts, accepting the quest and getting to work. In his present circumstances, a head-on assault was suicidal. Naruto had none of the preferred prerequisites to accomplish such a feat. Hiding in a nearby alley, Naruto checked his inventory to see what could be used against the towering boss, which wasn't much, unfortunately. More than a dozen. Zombie ribs, and 2 U-4-grade exploding tags. The only other item of worth was the U-First Aid Kit. Status window. Status window. Name. Uzumaki. Naruto. Job. Academy student. Level. 7 next level. 3785.54500. HP. 2625. CP. 4525. Starry. 14. Vit. 77. End. 102. Dex. 24. Int. 34. Wis 10. Cha 6. Look. Def 15. Attribute points 7. Naruto frowned as he saw his attributes. Initially, he wanted to save up his points for an emergency, but right now he couldn't afford to be picky. Star was of little use to him right now, along with Int, Sha, and Wiz, while End and Vit were comfortably high enough at the moment. Dex. It is, he nodded, and put all 7 points into Dex, hoping the boost in speed and evasion he'd gain would be of help for what he had planned, using his cunning and stealth to search the building. Entering a nearby building, while Midori followed him from behind, Naruto scanned the area and saw no zombies. Guess making the big guy took the lot of M. Either way was a boon for him. Naruto searched the house for anything that could be of use to him. Junk. Useless. Don't want to know. Really don't want to know? Ah. Moving. Naruto quickly slammed the drawer shut and cursed his bipolar luck. Searching the other nearby buildings, Naruto only managed to find semi-useful things such as more rags and tape, but nothing that could aid him against the giant walking corpse outside. Come on. There's gotta be something around here. Naruto refused to accept. There was nothing here to assist him. Clank. Looking below him at the noise's origin, Naruto felt a hard surface shift beneath his sandaled foot. A manhole cover, the sewers. While there was no guarantee that anything was down there, Naruto had checked pretty much every available nook and cranny, and came up short. The sewers were the only place he hadn't checked yet. In the distance, the Legion zombie was slowly making its way back towards his general location. Sewers it is. Pulling off the cover, Naruto jumped down into the sewers in the hopes of finding something that would help him defeat the Legion zombie. Congratulations! You've located the secret dungeon sewers. For discovering the secret dungeon, your exp and money earned has been increased by an additional 10%. Your Tenavis Zombie Slayer title has been temporarily increased to Journeyman Zombie Slayer. These boosts will expire upon leaving the dungeon. Secret dungeons. Secret dungeons are dungeons within dungeons that allow one to acquire additional loot and gear to aid them in defeating the initial dungeon. Secret dungeons differ from normal dungeons as they are not always present, and sometimes circumstances need to be accomplished before they can be found. Furthermore, these dungeons will sometimes lack a boss of their own, generally having a mini-boss instead, and may even lack enemies and be merely a treasure cove of valuable resources. After he finished reading the pop-up and doing the math, Naruto realized that with his current Academy, Ninjak, and Journeyman Zombie Slayer titles, it would lead to an additional 40% increase in experience points from undead enemies, not to mention the additional damage and drops it granted him as well. Sweet. Naruto loved his weird luck. It almost made up for the horrible stench the sewers emitted. The Kami knows what liquid he was standing in, and the near pitch black that covered his vision. Grabbing his pipe, Naruto was glad to see that it was still lit, allowing him to illuminate the area, but not that well. Unfortunately, it had the consequence of attracting the nearby locales. Sewer, Zombie, LV7. HP, 350. CP, 0. Star, 23. Vit, 14. End, 24. Dex, 16. Int, 0. Wis, 0. Cha, 9. Luke, 0. You're dead. Your luck sucks. Defense, 17. Specialization, none. Special perks, none. Perks. Undead. Being. Ignore pain, immune to poisons, mental attacks, and negative psychological afflictions. 30% tolerance towards bladed weapons and taijutsu. Undead. Stalker. Movement speed for a stealth increased by 25%, stealth effectiveness increased by 25%, power and chances for critical hits increased by 25%. Flaws. Walking corpse. Look, int, whiz are non-existent. CP is always 0 regardless of end. 30% tolerance towards blunt weapons, fire weapons, and fire skills. Description: a zombie that adapted to living in the sewers. While physically weaker than a ninja zombie, it has been hardened by its harsher environment, which allowed it become a better hunter and ambusher. In addition, living and eating in such an environment has resulted in the loss of burning agony and added a few new features other zombies normally wouldn't possess. However, such features also come at a cost. Exp earned 135 B 40% to 189 Exp. Drops. Rare drops. Naruto merely grinned as he prepared himself, but was caught off guard as a zombie suddenly emerged from the imperceptible waters below. The zombie grabbed him in a bear hug, and both it and the young academy student fell into the waters below. The zombie gnawed and spewed a dark, vile, viscous-like substance on its victim that started to burn and melt the worn clothing. Naruto, however, merely ignored this as he smashed the back of the zombie's head with an unforgiving blow from his lit pipe. Kawarimi and henge were simple but effective techniques, especially when used in tangent with one another. So you bastards spite acid, or whatever the hell that is. Naruto ducked as another zombie shot a glob of the stuff at him, watching it bubble and sizzle on the nearby wall of the sewers. Ryoku Boku, Power Strike. Naruto struck the downed zombie's head once more and looked on in satisfaction as it caught fire. It was soon replaced by confusion and then followed up with worry as the zombie began to bloat like a malformed balloon with glowing red cracks littering its form. Naruto had seen enough video games to know that an explosion was about to occur. Crap! Naruto ran as quick as he could to distance himself from the undead-turned bomb, but the zombie was quicker. The force of the explosion was enough that water smudge was sent everywhere, burning anything it touched, and Naruto was flung harshly into the air before he came barreling down onto a horde of undead. Ow, he groaned, noticing he had lost a good chunk of HP from the suicide move and hazardous substance that hit him. Warning: chest armor destroyed. Defense reduced. Warning! Pants armor is now below 50% durability. Oh, come on, that's a load of bullsh. Ow, UW! Naruto shouted as pain shot from his arm. Realizing he lost his pipe in the explosion, Naruto retaliated by grabbing a kunai and began stabbing at the zombie's head until death forced it to finally let go. Naruto counted himself fortunate that the other zombies he was sprawled on were face down in the muck. Getting up, Naruto's U-Detect Bloodlust came into effect. Unfortunately, its current level didn't allow Naruto to know where it was coming from. Being such as zombies who lacked emotions didn't trigger the ability. So far, the only enemies that caused it to flare up were the wailing cats, and that was only after they successfully snuck up on him and deliberately allowed their presence to be known. Looking around, Naruto saw only zombies and no cats. Some of the former had cheeks that began to swell. Knowing they were about to shoot blobs of nasty gunk at him, Naruto leaped away to a safer distance, his foot striking a piece of metal that turned out to be his pipe. His actions unknowingly saved him. From up above his previous position, a dark shadow fell upon the rising zombies and flattened them back down onto the ground like pancakes. The mass actually seemed to stretch and contort like a piece of dough before it slowly regained an asymmetric sphere, resembling shape. To his surprise, Naruto observed the wreathing shape of zombies struggle as they tried to escape its clutches. Uka-e, that was creepy to see as that old lady in a bikini photo he found in the old man's drawer. Okay, that was a tad excessive. This was nowhere as creepy. Ooze, Alve, 7. HP, 400. CP, 400. Star, 20. Vit, 16. End, 20. Dex, 33. Int, 3. Wis, 4. Cha, 3. Look, 2. Defense, 15. Specialization, none. Special perks. Basic assimilator. Whenever an ooze successfully assimilates another creature into itself, it gains a 15% increase to its attributes along with other benefits. Perks. Divider. 30% chance of ooze dividing into two woozes when health is below 30%, and if struck by a bladed weapon. Ambusher. Effectiveness of a stealth increased by 50% in darkened area. Power and chances for critical hits increased by 25% when using a stealth. Gelatinous. Blunt weapons resistance is increased by 85%. To taijutsu resistance increased by 85%. A bladed weapons resistance decreased by 85%. Flaws. Slow as molasses. Movement speed and evasion speed decreased by 85%. Flaw assimilation. Whenever an ooze successfully assimilates another creature into itself, it also gains the weaknesses and flaws of said creature. Description: a gelatinous amorphous-like monster formed from the muck and unstable elements and runoff chemicals of its environment. Slow as hell, this creature shouldn't be underestimated, especially by beginners. Stealthy and capable of masking its presence, it can swiftly end another's existence in mere seconds. However, its biggest strength comes from its ability to assimilate other creatures, not only to heal itself, but to also grant itself greater strength. Exp earned 125, AT 20%, 2 to 150. XP. Drops. Rare drops. Ah, crap. If there was one thing Naruto despised just as much as he did ghosts, it was ooze monsters. Not the cute cuddly ones with the smiley face, but the black terry ones that spat out equipment-destroying acid, hard as hell projectiles, flammable oils, or toxic sludge like no tomorrow. It also didn't help that Naruto's current weapon wasn't going to work too well on such monsters. This just gets better and whoa. Naruto ducked as a ball of something shot at him. To his surprise, that something turned out to be a zombie, its HP lingering on the precipice of death. Assimilation. Assimilation is a technique used by certain monsters to recover health and strengthen themselves. However, the process does not have a 100% success rate. Should the process fail, the monsters will regurgitate its victims, and in some cases launching their bodies with incredibly accuracy to injure prey or enemies. That explains that, with that tidbit of information, Naruto took advantage of the situation. Later, zombie, said zombie's existence came to an end when the pipe struck its head. Focusing once more on the ooze, Naruto watched and jiggle and contort in an odd manner. Once more, he was forced to duck as another zombie came flying at him. The undead striking head first against the wall of the sewers, but Naruto ended its life once more. Congratulations! Your level has increased by 1. Name: Uzumaki. Naruto. Job: Academy student. Level: 8. Next level: 41.55 400. HP: 2625. IA: 350 IO, 2975. CP: 4525. IR 625. U 5150. Story: 1414. Vit: 771087. End: 102. 117. 117. Dex: 31-1, 232. Int: 34, 34. Wis: 10-10-10. Cha: 6-2-6. Luke: Def: 10-10-10. Attribute points: 0/3. Finally, some good news, Naruto grinned. While it was up, Naruto didn't care. Quite frankly, he enjoyed the other perks of a level up. Full restoration of his CP and HP and his fatigue levels were reset. Waiting for the next zombie to be launched, Naruto observed as the ooze began to change from its normally black color to unhealthy putrid grayish one. Guess that means the assimilation has worked. Sure enough, a quick use of Observe proved his guess to be correct. The creature had enhanced attributes. The ooze's higher than his dex would have been unsettling if its movement speed wasn't impeded. Furthermore, while its attributes were now higher, the creature had now gained the zombie's weakness for fire and blunt objects. Its tolerance remained, but at least now it was at a lower level. Furthermore, the assimilation now had it classified as an undead enemy, which meant greater power to his weapon and skills. Naruto cackled before putting away his pipe and dashed forward with 2 kunai racing behind him. While they lacked the raw power of his makeshift weapon, the kunai were both quicker and more than enough for what he had in mind. But the ooze struck first by flattening its body, causing various protrusions to come out of virtually every angle. Naruto slipped on the sludgy floor as he tried to stop himself from impalement. His reward was twofold: lack of becoming skewered and getting a horrendous mouthful of God knows what. Gah! Naruto spat and retched his heart out. The taste was excruciatingly nasty. Fucking damn it! Oh, God. Naruto's stomach emptied once more, the contents mixing into the sludge. Your lack of proper action has cost you 450 HP. You're fucking dead. The young ninja harshly bellowed at the ooze, causing the creature stiffen and become immobile. Congratulations! A special skill has been created due to a special act. Due to your intense desire to harm another, you have learned the Killing Intenti skill. Killing Intent, LV1, 7% to next, LV. Skill Modifier, Cha Shishi, and Cho Mastering Speed. A skill that allows you to project negative intent upon another to the point it negatively affects them in various ways, depending on the circumstances. While often confused as a genjutsu, Killing Intent is actually one's will manifested through their chakra, though only a select few have a gift for the skill and fewer can actually master it. Full mastery of the skill and enough desire can result in victims committing suicide or suffer from full mental breakdowns. CP cost, 500 CP per use. Success rate to cause, Stunned D status effect, 31%, Ta 1, Indian 25, caster level, victim level. Victims, Che 1, End 25. Success rate to cause, unconscious status effect, 1%, Ta 1, and H25, caster level, victim level. Victims, Che 1, and Ya25. Success rate to cause hysteria, status effect, 31%, Che 1, and 25. Caster level, victim level. Victims, Cha Hon, and A25. Okay, awesome, were Naruto's thoughts before he dashed once more with the intent of ending the creature once and for all. In its currently impaired state, the ooze was unable to fight back as Naruto hacked, slashed, and stabbed with wild abandon. While the kunai weren't the most damaging of weapons, each rapid blow landed resulted in a critical hit that quickly depleted its HP levels. By the time it was able to retaliate, more than 4/5 of HP were gone. Weakened as it was in its current state, the ooze only managed to land a grazing blow. One Naruto almost completely dodged it at the last minute. Almost. Finally, after a few more successfully landed blows, Naruto managed to end the creature once more before it vanished into a series of lights. With the area cleared of foes, Naruto began collecting the drops that were left behind. Aside from the Rio, much of what was found was useless to use until he found the last drop. Basic grade armor acid, common quality. Item type, offensive. Damage, 75 HP. Durability, one-time use. Description: a basic vial of acid used that can be used for a number of different purposes. This one in particular, if used against an enemy, has the ability to reduce the unfortunate victim's defense and as well as cause damage over a period of time. Debuffs flaws. Victim is impaired with temporary debuffs. Armor break. LV1. Minor acid burns. LV1 buff. Stackably. Finally, something good. Naruto was relieved his trip down in the muck wasn't a waste. Each debuff lasted a good 10 minutes, and the stackable buff spoke for itself. Alone, he very much doubted it would be enough to take down the Legion zombie, but with enough of them and some well-placed traps, Naruto was certain he'd be able to bring down a good deal of health. With that in mind, Naruto sent off to find more items that would be of use to him against the boss. Stealthily following behind him was an unhappy serpent. Sometime later, above the sewer dungeon. Dear Kami above. What the hell is taking that kid so long? Anko asked no one. If I knew it was gonna take forever. Ah shit. Anko was bored, and a bored Anko was someone others didn't want to be around him. Even those she liked weren't always spared. Personally, she was tempted to off giant and brainless in the distance with a well-placed fire release technique. But Anko was a kunoichi of her word, most of the time. And unless Naruto asked her, she would not interfere in whatever he had planned. It didn't mean she didn't like the wait. She couldn't exactly kill the boredom either, as much of the zombies were gone by either the hands of the ninja in training herself, or they assimilated into the tall and ugly streaker that lacked genitalia. Honestly, Anko doubted she'd have offered the deal to any other wet behind-the-ears academy student. One of the main ones why she did was most likely because Naruto reminded the kunoichi of herself at that age, a hot-headed ninja who wanted to prove herself to everyone around her. This was even more so when she was betrayed and labeled a pariah by more than half the village for something they truly didn't understand or bother to understand. Really? The kunoichi noted that Naruto had guts, determination, creativity, and a lot of piss and vinegar. 2. Anko thought that all good ninja needed that. But the problem was the fact that that was all Naruto really had going for him. His fighting style was unorthodox but flawed and wasteful, and his ninjutsu repertoire for combat would make the founding fathers of Konoha question if he was even a ninja. Had it not been for his reputation, Anko certainly would have. All in all, even for a self-taught individual, Naruto sucked. Naruto was no genius, not by a long shot. He was a hard worker, but that wasn't enough. His only noteworthy feature was the incredible stamina he possessed, that was many times larger than anyone in his age group. Naruto needed help, and he needed it big time. The ninja world wasn't anywhere as cruel as it used to be during the nearly 2 millennia-long age known as the Era of Warring States, but it was still a cruel world for the weak and ill-prepared nonetheless. Left to his own devices, Anko was certain the world would eat him whole. He'd be lucky if it spat him back out without any permanent damage. Great. Now I'm going soft, Anko huffed at the irony of it all. Badass kunoichi, as she liked to call herself. And yet here she was fretting over an annoying kid. I really need to get out of here, she muttered, and once more began to wonder what the hell was taking Naruto so long. She'd give him a little while longer, but if nothing was done within the next half hour, Anko would deal with the boss herself. Sewer dungeons. Warning! You have half an hour to take action against the Legion zombie, or the quest cutting it down to size will end in failure. So, not the time! Naruto barked and ducked under a launched zombie. The boy glared at an opponent before him. Giant ooze, Elva 10. HP, 800. CP, 650. Star, 31. Vit, 32. End, 26. Dex, 23. Int, 6. Whis, 7. Cha, 6. Luke, 5. Defense, 29. Specialization, Intermediate assimilator. Whenever a Eugiant ooze successfully assimilates another creature into itself, it gains a 30% increase to its attributes along with other benefits. Special perks. None. Perks. Giant divider. 30% chance of you dividing into 3 oozes when health is below 30%, and if struck by a bladed weapon. Ambusher. Effectiveness of a stealth increased by 50% in darkened area. Power and chances for critical hits increased by 25% when using a stealth. Gelatinous. Blunt weapons resistance is increased by 85%. To taijutsu resistance increased by 85%. A bladed weapons resistance decreased by 85%. Flaws. Slow as molasses. Movement speed and evasion speed decreased by 85%. Weakness assimilation. Whenever a giant ooze successfully assimilates another creature into itself, it also gains the weaknesses of said creature. Description: a large gelatinous being formed from multiple oozes that merge into one or when a single ooze manages to assimilate 3 other foes. As a result, it is stronger and slightly more intelligent, though that isn't saying much. Due to its greater size, it is more resilient to attacks and can shoot objects with greater force and at a greater distance. Exp earned 145. Drops. Rare drops. Naruto frowned and really regretted not ending the 3 oozes he encountered quickly enough. But then again, the amount of zombies in the area distracting him didn't help. Piss off! Spinning around, Naruto harshly smashed in Zombie's chest when it tried taking a swipe at him. With the pipe regaining the aconditional firebrand, basic rank, more damage was dealt and the zombie caught fire. Having the unfortunate first-hand experience of knowing what was to come next, Naruto propelled himself from the wall and lashed out with a double stomp kick to the aflame and bulging being's face. The force was enough to send it towards the giant ooze, who began to try and assimilate the undead morsel. The act ended up being a huge mistake as the zombie exploded in a spectacular fashion. Naruto watched as the giant ooze's form suddenly and violently swelled up like a balloon with too much water or air. Red cracks began to form on its body, and Naruto cursed loudly. "Shit!" and ducked behind a pillar. But the act was for naught, and Naruto felt himself shoved into the muck as a huge wave of concussive force crashed into him, flames briefly licking his back before they were extinguished by the wet and horrid substance he found himself submerged in. Rising out of the sewer water, Naruto idly wondered how many showers or baths it would take to get himself thoroughly clean. Congratulations! Through a special act, you've discovered and unlocked the hidden weakness of the oozes. Unstable chemistry. Unstable chemistry. Unique to the ooze family due to them being composed of various elements not meant to be together. Being struck by fire, lightning, or explosion-type attacks have a 55% chance of causing own self-destruction and 30% of causing great self-destruction. However, being directly caught in the explosion will cause the victim, those who survive, to suffer from random flaws debuffs for the next half hour. Damn, talk about a crappy flaw, Naruto whistled as he inspected the damage. The wall where the giant ooze was situated had a huge hole in it, was more than twice Naruto's size. All around him were scattered loot floating on the sewer water, the explosion having taken out a large number of nearby monsters too. Checking his status window, Naruto's eyes nearly bulged out when he realized his experience had shot up by a large amount. Right now he was more than 6/10 of the way to leveling up once more. However, it quickly dawned on Naruto that he was now on a time crunch. "Gotta make this quick," he muttered, and began looking around for the loot. Unlike last time, Naruto found more useful items such as 2 vials of basic grade armor acid, for a total of 5 now, and a new item that would definitely come in handy. Unstable cocktail. Uncommon quality. Item type. Offensive. Damage. 500 HP. Durability. One-time use. Description. a vial containing the concentrated essence of used monsters, and will allow for incredible damage along with other nasty surprises on unprepared victims. Debuffs flaws. Victim is impaired with temporary debuffs. Random debuff. LV1, burning. Databeo! Hitting his ugly mug with this will seriously mess him up. Naruto wished there was more of the item, but time was of the essence, and he needed to move. As he made to move to the exit, Naruto blinked as he spotted something unbelievable from the hole in the wall. A chest! A chest! Yes! Thank you, Kami. Naruto whooped. If his ability mimicked that of games, Naruto knew that said chest in question would have decent loot. This was doubly so since it was a hidden chest. And it was a large one at that. Eagerly did Naruto open the large, strong box. Stars replaced his eyes as he beheld its contents. 5,000 Ryo bills, potion vials, a scroll, and a weapon. While the former was welcomed, Naruto was more interested in the latter three and promptly used Observe. Basic grade health potion, rare quality. Item type, recovery item. Durability, one-time use. Description: an item that instantly heals one's HP. Though it is called a potion, in truth is actually liquid medical chakra mixed with various herbs. The purpose of its creation was to instantly heal the wounds of an individual, but it cannot cure illnesses, fatigue, or energy levels. The creation of this potion and its improvements were thought to be a mere myth or fabrication, as few of them were ever created or seen, and the methods on creating them were never found. Has a bitter taste. Buffs, perks. User instantly recovers 30% of their total HP. Katon Hidama, Fireball, Scroll. Katon, Hidama, Fire Release, Fireball. D rank LV1, 0% to next, LV. Skill modifier, N, a mastering speed, B. A basic fire release technique that creates a small fireball that deals minor injuries and burns, and can even be used to conceal thrown weapons if done properly. While more or less used to make campfires, this technique is a great stepping stone for learning more complicated Katon ninjutsu. CP usage, 55 CP. Launches 1 fireball per use. Damage, 1925 per fireball. Range, 3 meters. See Shoyo. Holy brand. Epic quality. Item type, blunt weapon. Item modifier rank, star EAT. Durability, 80-80. While it resembles a red-hot torch, its metal studs on the end show that it is very much designed for combat. Useful in not only providing light, the small cudgel is also designed to set foes alight much more easily and allows it to inflict additional damage. In addition, it possesses a holy element to it that makes it an effective weapon against those classified as undead. Attack. Power, 25. 33. Modifier. Bonus, UA 50.7, 61.1. Bonus perks, Illuminator. LV1, Firebrand. Intermediate rank, Zombie Hater. Unique weapon skill. Hikaru, Brilliance. Few Injutsu slots available. 1 major slot, E2 minor slots. Usage, requirement, 15 star, basic blunt weapon mastery. Illuminator, LV1 no. By saying the command words light on it clearly illuminates the surrounding area within a radius of 30 feet. By uttering the command words, light off, the illumination ceases. Using the ability grants in darkened areas gives the bearer the flaw emeth to a flame. Firebrand, intermediate rank. Base weapon attack power increased by 30%, 40%. Chance of causing a burning debuff. Zombie Hater. Gives the wielder the benefits of the Zombie Slayer title and allows one to locate undead within 25 meters and see them clearly in darkened areas. If wielder already has title equipped, then it is increased to the next title level available. cannot increase beyond maximum title level. Hikaru, Brilliance. Hikaru is a unique weapon skill that activates when its name is said by the wielder. When used in darkened areas, it has a 65% chance of causing the use stunned and has a 35% chance of causing the debuff visually impaired. Can be used when lit or unlit. CP cost 150 CP per use. Jackpot. Next to the discovery of the beautiful wonder that was known as ramen, this was easily one of Naruto's happiest moments. Eagerly storing away the loot, Naruto brandished his weapon before red flashed before him. Error! Error! You currently don't meet the requirements to wield this equipment. A penalty to weapon damage and speed and abilities has occurred. Sure enough, Naruto saw his weapon become the exact opposite in a blink of an eye. What? Why the hell? Oh right. Naruto slapped himself for forgetting. Putting only one of the recently acquired Appy into his S-star, Naruto watched as the penalty vanished and breathed a sigh of relief as Shishoyo returned to normal. Naruto considered himself very fortunate, given his circumstances. In games, the chances of low-level characters getting an epic rank weapon such as this in their first dungeon were very low. And yet, while it was only a low-level epic weapon, Naruto had managed to acquire one nonetheless. Already it was a strong weapon with the modifier and bonus stat. Adding in the boosts from his titles and skills meant this was the best possible weapon for this dungeon. Now equipped with the weapon, Naruto used the command phrase and blinked as he saw the environment light up, which allowed him to see everything with greater clarity. Though in hindsight it wasn't all that pretty given it was a sewer. The flaw imeth to a flame wasn't something he liked either, since it decreased the effectiveness of his eye stealth skill by giving away his position in dark areas. It was a torch after all, and had an aggro effect, too. On the upside, it was still a very good weapon, and would allow him to get out of the dank environment more quickly now that he knew where to go. Naruto, however, quickly realized an important problem. Where the hell did I come from? He wondered, and looking at the many possible entrances he could have come through. Crap. From the shadows, Midori face planted the moment she heard the young ninja in training's words. This is going to take some work, she realized. She also realized seconds that her head, which she had worked very hard on not getting dirty, was now covered in vile sewer sludge. Naruto was going to pay for that later. Screw it, Naruto decided to wing it. Sewers had more than one manhole cover. He'd come across one sooner or later. Running towards the closest exit, Naruto quickly entered an open area filled to the brim with zombies. While initially worried, Naruto recalled his new weapon and its skill, his worried look quickly shifting into a fox-like grin instead. Hikaru, Brilliance, Naruto declared and raised Shishoyo into the air above him. A brilliant flash encompassed the enclosed area, and Naruto watched as the zombies recoiled. Hikaru, Brilliance, Naruto declared and raised Shishoyo into the air above him. A brilliant flash encompassed the enclosed area, and Naruto watched as the zombies recoiled, some even falling into the water, and remained virtually motionless. Two of them were unaffected, but Hikaru at least evened the odds in his favor and gave him time to deal with those that couldn't fight back. Ryoku Boku, Power Strike. Naruto slammed his weapon into the back of the nearest zombie's head. The zombie fell forward. Naruto followed up with a heel strike on the downed animate corpse and began stomping the life out of it. When it dissipated, Naruto moved on to the next immobile zombie and struck it with another Ryoku Boku to the head. This time his victim caught fire, and Naruto kicked it towards the zombies that were closing in. Fire in the hole! Naruto couldn't help himself, and watched as the exploding zombie expanded outwards with incredible force. The action sent the others along with sludge flying across the sewer. One struck another undead, while the other struck the sewer wall with an audible crunch. When another tried getting up, Naruto used his first elemental technique. Katon. Hidama no Jutsu, Fire Release. Fireball Technique. A small fire shot from his mouth towards its target. However, being Naruto's first time using such a technique, the aim was off and merely struck the sewer water. Well, that sucked. While embarrassed by the poor execution of it all, Naruto was glad no one but mindless undead were present. And the snake, he realized. Damn, it. Definitely going to take some work. Midori laughed while Naruto attempted another fireball. It also missed. Nearly half an hour later, above the sewers. A white. Time's almost up, Anko jumped to her feet and stretched out the kinks in her body. She had given Naruto an ample amount of time to deal with the rotting giant, and nothing happened. She was bored and over this crap. Jumping from roof to roof until she arrived directly behind the ignorant undead, Anko set out with her plan. Okay. 1 Katon. Karyuden. Fire release. Fire dragon bullet. To your ugly mug coming up. She muttered, and began the sequence for the necessary hand sign. Just as she was about to unleash hell, Anko spotted Naruto 1 roof over from her. While he was cutting it close, Naruto still had time left, so Anko halted her actions and decided to see where this went. Gaki better not disappoint me, she frowned, and became wide-eyed when Naruto bolted from his cover and threw something at the back of the Legion zombie. Whatever it was, Anko noticed it got a negative reaction from the creature. The kunoichi saw vapors, and even from here she could hear sizzling. Acid. Where the hell did he get that? She put that aside as the undead behemoth bellowed loudly and raised its arms high into the air. Anko looked on with worry as the raised appendages came crashing down with the force of an explosion and demolished nearly half the building from top to bottom. Though much smaller and nowhere as strong than an Akimichi when using their clan's body manipulation techniques, the undead giant's strength was still superhuman and just deadly. The kunoichi breathed a sigh of relief when she spotted him running on the streets. If that kid makes one wrong move, it's game over. Anko hoped the boy knew what he was doing as the dungeon boss gave chase. Anko-san. The kunoichi heard Midori hissed from behind. Midori, she quickly greeted. What took so long? The boy found another layer to this place underground. It wasn't pleasant. Anko knew Midori well enough to recognize the irritation in her tone of voice. You're telling me, Kami, you smell rank. Anko cringed at the odor that assaulted her nose. She could only wonder how bad Naruto was. Thinking of the boy, Anko looked at her familiar and friend. How'd he do? Like I said before, the boy has potential, but he's a fixer-upper for certain, the summon repeated, noting how long it took him to get out of the secret dungeon. Kinda knew that already. Midori? Anything new, I mean? Anko clarified. Frankly, his ability is powerful, extremely so. Each time an enemy falls, I've seen items take its place. I even saw him blow up an enemy, and that action snowballed in him, getting a series of items that made the rest of the sewers a walk in the park. I've never seen nor heard anything quite like this before. I can't make any sense of how this is all possible. Midori knew few who could, but she doubted even the white snake sage was capable of making sense of it all. So what are his chances against tall and ugly over there? Anko was curious about what Naruto got if it allowed him to breeze through it. If he plays it smart, he'll end causing it a lot of damage before you have to take over. With a lot of luck and creativity on his part, he may even come close to ending it, the constrictor added. Not that I doubt you or anything, but I'd rather not stay here for the rest of my life. Too many things to do, people to traumatize, dango to eat, all that good stuff, Anko rebutted. Midori deadpanned, so stay close to the little twerp. Midori merely nodded and slithered away from Anko before she disappeared into the shadows like a wraith. It went unsaid that the moment Midori interfered was at Anko's cue to take the boss down for the count, with a well-placed fire technique. With Naruto. Come on, ugly! Come get some! Naruto shouted and took off when the creature bellowed an ear-splitting roar once more. The prankster was fortunate that despite its towering form and immense strength, Naruto's speed boost was just enough to evade its attacks. Even then, it was only barely. Case in point, Naruto was thrown in the air as he evaded the latest attack that kicked up a cloud of dust, earth, and broken rocks. The act caused him to crash shoulder first into a wall. HP was lost, but it was minimal, and Naruto couldn't afford to be idle. Running around a corner, Naruto watched as the Legion zombie plowed through the nearest building as though it wasn't there. However, its movement was slowed as it did, but it seemed unbothered nonetheless by the crumbling structure. Spotting him, the behemoth gave chase once more, only for it to unexpectedly step into a decently deep hole filled with makeshift bones spikes. The action caused it some damage and also caused it to fall face forward onto the ground. The ground buckled, and the area shook everything around him as though an earthquake took place. Naruto lost his footing but regained it quickly enough and rushed at the being. Quickly grabbing his unstable cocktail, Naruto got in close and broke it on the zombie's head. His actions were instantaneous. The being lost 500 HP, and its whole head caught on fire. Much like the other zombies, this caused the boss's burning agony flaw to activate and send it into a frenzy. But that wasn't all. Massive critical hit landed. Legion zombie affected by burning agony. Deba! Legion zombie affected by oil. Yes? Years of video meant Naruto didn't need to read the description to know what boiled meant. Damage from fire-based techniques and chances of causing negative status effects against the boss had now shot up. It was a simple but effective technique Naruto had exploited time and time again. Legion zombie health below 75%. Yes, Naruto mentally cheered. However, so focused was he that he was nearly crushed by the rampaging zombie's giant arm. Instead, Naruto was sent flying by the impact into a nearby building. Pain racked his form as a wall stopped him once more. Ouch! Naruto groaned. That had hurt like hell. As he removed himself from the wall, Naruto was thankful for small mercies, as the zombie was still stuck in the hole he made instead of being mobile. The boy could only wonder how much hot water he'd be in then. Nonetheless, Naruto realized that it wouldn't be long before it managed to free itself, and the blow had taken away a huge chunk of HP. While he had hoped to save it for a different occasion, the ninja in training quickly chugged his newly acquired E-basic grade health potion and watched as 30% of his health returned to him in a flash. Getting up, Naruto approached the hole he had come through and saw that the zombie was still suffering from its hissy fit and destroying the area it was stuck in. Deciding on a safer long-ranged approach, Naruto got in within a safe distance and raised Shishoyo into the air. Hikaru, brilliance, Naruto declared. However, the action didn't affect the boss as easily as its lower-rank kin. Furrowing his brow, Naruto had to attempt it 2 more times before it finally worked, and the boss still. By now, the burning agony had finally subsided, but Naruto was quick to rectify that. Tossing another vial of U-basic grade armor acid at its face, Naruto followed with another Ryoku Boku, power strike. With his weapon in hand, Naruto struck the boss's sizzling head and watched it lit up once more like a raging bonfire. The zombie couldn't have the worst of luck. With his perks, title, and weapon, Naruto was currently the worst opponent it could be facing right now. Distancing himself, Naruto shot several Hidama, fireball, from a nearby rooftop that was still within striking distance but outside of arm's reach. Naruto repeated the actions a couple of more times before it finally managed to break free from its confinement. Legion zombie health below 50%. The Legion zombie's raging undead skill has been activated. Come again? Naruto questioned the pop-up. Rawr! Naruto was unable to block his ears as the roar made him buckle from the sheer intensity of it all. Gazing up, Naruto saw the zombie's eyes bulge and darken to a blood red, whilst its body bulged and wreathed under the skin as though thousands of worms were beneath the surface of it. Its massive hands exploded as they transformed into claws the length of spears, its lanky form transforming into that of a bodybuilder, thighs thickening into tree trunks, and bony protrusions coming out at various locations. Uh-oh. Despite looking way cooler, Naruto knew that even with his new weapon, his situation went from doable to likely no chance in hell. His current predicament only worsened as he saw the dungeon boss grab a huge chunk of building. Naruto quickly put two and two together and did the only thing he could think of. "Hikaru, brilliance," he declared and hoped his gamble worked. Lady Luck smiled upon him as the giant zombie recoiled from the sudden flash of light. The piece of building it picked up ended up falling on its head and causing it to lose its balance. While damage was done, the zombie continued raging and pretty much destroyed its surrounding environment. The wild and destructive flailing and length of its arms made it too hazardous for Naruto to approach without risking incredible damage. Using Hikaru was an option, but the technique was less effective out in the open than in an enclosed and darkened one. The fact the last two worked at all were very fortunate. Hidama, while ranged and fire-related, was limited in range, and too weak to cause any serious damage even with his damage-enhancing boons. Oiled was now gone since it disappeared after the first fire-related technique struck the victim. Naruto was not one to call it quits. It went against his beliefs, and there was a fine line between being determined and stubbornness. But even though he wouldn't stay dead, Naruto had no intention of losing the XP he managed to find. With that in mind, Naruto decided to attempt one last gamble. Shooting out a small fireball at the undead berserker, Naruto managed to get its attention. He had little time to act as the being lunged at him, its giant body punching through the building like a drill through bedrock. "Fuck!" Anko cringed along with Midori. Both hoped Naruto was fine. The two soon paled the moment they saw the undead rise up and spotted the sleeve from Naruto's well-recognized orange jumpsuit hanging from its massive mouth. They paled even further when the crunching began, and Anko could only wonder how the hell she was going to explain this to the Hokage. And that was assuming she'd ever get out of this place. "Hey, asshole!" From atop another building, Anko and Midori both breathed a sigh of relief when they saw Naruto's very much uneaten form. His clothes were pretty much useless now, but other than looking dirtier, Naruto appeared virtually unharmed. "That was my favorite jumpsuit," Naruto shouted, his tone pissed. The act of using Eiko Arami to get away at the last minute had paid off, but Naruto had overshot the distance, which cost him a good amount of chakra and resulted in the loss of his jumpsuit top. The zombie merely raised its arm while Naruto quickly put his hands in the tiger seal and uttered one word. Boom! Both humans and the summon watched as an explosion came from the mouth of the boss and caused it to shake and crumble backwards onto the ground. Its fall was incredible and destruction followed it as the earth buckled and shuddered vigorously. Massive critical hit landed. Legion zombie health below 25%. Naruto jumped into the air with joy as he realized he neared his goal. But his luck ran out when he landed back down and lost his balance, courtesy of the roof collapsing due to previous damage from the dungeon boss. Finding himself suddenly free-falling, the blonde couldn't recover quickly enough when he landed with a painful thud and shouted obscenities as several large pieces of stone and wood rendered his leg and arms immobile. Now incapable of moving and having lost a good chunk of health for his cockiness, Naruto struggled to move and unpin himself from the rubble he was trapped under. "Oh, come on, get off, damn it!" Naruto cursed and squirmed like a toddler from a stranger's arms. As it required free mobility and hand signs, the body replacement technique was a no-go to use at the moment. Thud. The struggle momentarily stopped as Naruto felt the vibrations and knew what they meant. Continuing his efforts to free himself from his current predicament, Naruto cursed his lack of physical strength. Thud. Crap! Naruto continued struggling in vain. And while he wouldn't admit it out loud, he was worried. Had Yagama's mind not kicked in, he was absolutely certain he would be having a panic attack. Even though he wouldn't stay dead, Naruto had no intention of experiencing death anytime soon, or any time for that matter. Thud! But the current situation didn't seem to take his feelings into consideration at the moment. Looming over him was the building tall undead dungeon boss, his head still badly battered up from the combined exploding tags trap he pulled off. As it raised its hand up high into the air, Naruto closed his eyes and mentally prayed that death and rebirth here would be like flipping a light switch. Quick and easy. As the large arm and hand came down upon him like a hammer to strike hot metal on an anvil, Lady Luck flipped a coin, and Naruto's fortunes took a turn for the better. The act was swift and harsh, and the zombie had no time to react once its head found itself clamped down upon by a massive jaw of backwards curving teeth. From there it was game over, as the Legion zombie found itself flung several dozens of meters into air before being savagely yanked back down by the feet and into the ground. The dungeon boss has been defeated. Congratulations, the dungeon has been cleared. As a result, you've completed the achievement Unnovice Adventurer. You've earned 1500 XP and 2500 Ryo. Quest completed. Cutting it down to size. Main quest. Reduce the Legion's zombies' health to 75% without Anko's help. Accomplished. Side. Quest 1. Reduce the Legion zombies' health to 50% without Anko's help. Accomplished. Side. Quest 2. Reduce the Legion zombies' health to 25% without Anko's help. Accomplished. Side. Quest 3. Kill the Legion zombie without Anko's help. Not accomplished. Total rewards earned: 3,750 XP, 20%, 2A4, 500 XP, 400. Reputation: Anko, 3 attribute points, trust earned quest. Anko. Path available. Congratulations, your level has increased by 3. Status window. Name: Uzumaki. Naruto. Job: Academy student. Level: 11. Next level: 2,565. 8,700. HP: 2,975. 1,058. 4,025. CP: 5,150. 1,1875. 2,725. Stir: 15, 215. Vit: 87 by 30, 117. End: 117. D45: 162. Dex: 32. Y32 Turo. Int: 34. 34. Wis: 10, 10, 10. Cha: 6, 2, 6. Look: Def: 5, 5. Attribute points: 5, 7, 2, 12. Congratulations! Due to passing the 150-point mark on end, you've gained the perk U Chakra Affinity. Basic rank. Chakra Affinity. Basic rank. ECP Reagan increased by 5%. Total CP increased by 5%. Elemental nature damage taken decreased by 5%. CP usage towards ninjutsu skills decreased by 5%. Speed, power, and effectiveness towards ninjutsu skills increased by 5%. Oh, Kami, thank you. Naruto breathed a sigh of relief, ignoring the sweet triple level up and new perk for the time being. That was too close. Yeah, it was, you little idiot. Anko's voice sang from behind. You did good up until you got cocky, and look what happened. Never get cocky, Gaki, or you can end up worse than this. You mean dead? Naruto questioned her. Oh, I can think of a lot of things worse than death. While a bastard and a traitor, her former teacher hadn't sugarcoated the dangers that young ninja and Kunoichi faced. That was especially so for Kunoichi, Senii Jashu, hidden shadow snake hands. From her sleeves appeared 5 large snakes that Anko directed towards the fallen debris. Naruto watched as 3 coiled and wrapped tightly around the stone and wood, pinning his arms before lifting them up, while the remaining 2 took care of the lower half of his body. With their tasks done, the serpents retreated back into Anko's sleeve, to who knows where, allowing Naruto to stand up and work the kink out of his muscles. Thanks, Naruto said before heading towards the area of the giant zombie's demise. Anko followed closely behind him. The two of them made short work at covering the distance between them, and Naruto's eyes bulged out of his eyes. "Holy shit!" Naruto exclaimed. "Midori!" Yes, the green serpent was now of immense stature. Compared to her, the towering Legion zombie was a puppy standing next to a human child. It was no wonder the surrounding area now had a huge crater with meters worth of spider web-like cracks spread around, and nearby buildings had collapsed from the sheer force. Anko was right, Naruto recalled the kunoichi saying, how the Legion zombie was nothing compared to summons or summon-like creatures. The evidence before him spoke for itself. If this was but a taste of the creatures he'd potentially be facing down the line, Naruto had some serious shaping up to do. Before he could ask any further questions, Midori began shrinking back down to her previous size. "You okay, Midori?" he heard Anko ask while the serpent coiled and wrapped herself around the woman. "I'm fine," Midori huffed. Naruto thought she looked tired. "It still takes a lot of chakra to maintain my previous form. I just need rest," she said, and with that she started to sleep. Guessing he wouldn't get his question answered right now, Naruto drew his attention back to the ground to see what was spread before him. 3 vials of U-basic grade health potion, a little over 20,000 Ryo, a pair of gloves, and a scroll. "I'll take that," Anko swiped the Ryo bills in the blink of an eye. "Hey!" "Oh, quit your bitchin'. Here." Anko threw him a stack that amounted to 3,000 Ryo. "Be grateful I'm giving you even that much. Gaki." The blonde chose to ignore that for now. If anything, he'd be able to come back later and make up for his losses, and then some thanks to the titles and equipment he now held. Looking back down, Naruto grabbed the gloves and the scroll and used to observe. Novice. Zombie Slayer gloves. Uncommon quality. Item type. Hand armor. Durability 50-50. A pair of gloves that are imbued with the power to defend against foes classified as undead, which makes it easier to combat and hunt them down. While the lowest class of the Zombie Slayer equipment set, they are still good for beginners and offer decent protection. Buffs, perks, damage. 8 DF, 3% damage from undead. Set, completion, first bonus. 1-3, lock. Set, completion, second bonus. 1-5, lock. Ninpo, Gariki scroll. Ninpo, Gariki, ninja art, hard strength. B rank, LV 1, 0% to next. LV, skill modifier, in2D do mastering speed. E, a technique that strengthens the user's muscles for a period of time, which allows them to hit harder, jump higher, lift heavier objects, and throw objects even further and with deadlier force. While a very useful skill, it is very difficult to master because of the skill's required finesse. CP usage, 600 per. Use increases star by 75%. Duration, 3 minutes, 34 int I. X, 5 seconds. ACAL, 4, 25 minutes. Usage, requirements, 30 int, 100 end. As she saw Naruto grinning from ear to ear, Anko surmised the academy student had acquired some pretty decent loot. However, Anko had little interest in that and made her opinion known. "Okay, Gaki. We cleared this place. Now can we go home before anything else happened? I'd rather not make it a habit to save your ass at the last minute again." Anko liked living on the edge, but that had been too close a call for her liking. "Yeah, sure. Just a sec," Naruto said and began to look at the Agaidi to find out how he was supposed to get out of this place. "All right. Instant dungeon creation escape," Naruto declared, and both blinked as the world turned white and they suddenly reappeared in the alley. "Ugh, headache," Anko groaned as little bits of light danced in front of her eyes. "Little warning next time, Gaki." "Sorry." Naruto groaned as well. He'd have to get used to that. So what now? Before Anko could come up with an answer, the two of them were suddenly confronted by an Ambu with long purple hair and wearing a porcelain mask that resembled a cat. "Uzumaki Naruto, Mitarashi Anko, the both of you are to report to Hokage-sama immediately. Anko could only blink and summed up the situation in 2 words. Ah, shit. Chapter 5. Babysitting with a premium rate. Naruto and Anko walked up the stairs leading to the Hokage's office at a relaxed yet quick pace. The cat-masked Anbu following them from behind and ever watchful. Not that Anko and Naruto had any plans of making a run for it. Not that it would do me any good. Naruto's share of pranks had him often brought towards the Hokage whenever he was caught. Though said pranks were mostly geared towards civilians, Genin and Chunin. Only once in a blue moon did he ever go and target a Jonin-level individual. Jonin and Anbu were more or less off-limits unless he felt lucky, since not only were they much harder to prank, given that the vast majority knew how to disable and avoid them, but 9 times out of 10 was he caught. At least this time he wasn't being dragged up the stairs, which hurt like hell, and then some, like he normally was during a prank gone wrong. Anbu Neko present to see Hokage-sama about Mitarashi Anko and Uzumaki Naruto. The Anbu declared as they stood before the secretary. Proceed. Hokage-sama is expecting you, the woman informed the operative. Hi, Mariko Nichan. Naruto greeted the familiar secretary as the Anbu entered Hiruzen's office. Much like Ayame, Mariko was one of the few older females that Naruto had a decent relationship with. It had been rocky at first, but after a certain amount of times, the two had warmed up to one another. Naruto-kun, Mariko chuckled, an Anbu escort. What did you do this time? What makes you think I did anything? Naruto merely got a deadpanned look from the young woman. His reputation preceded him after all. Call it a hunch, she smiled, and Naruto became flushed. Honest, I didn't do squat this time, he persisted. Right, sure, Naruto-kun. And Hokage-sama is a closet pervert? Anko and Mariko laughed at that. Well, actually, Naruto began just as the door opened. I'll see you two now, Anko-chan, Naruto-kun. Hiruzen spoke from the doorway. No way in hell was that coincidental. Naruto swore the old man had been listening in on them before he walked into the room. Before we begin, I must ask if you two are all right. To Naruto, it sounded like a friendly request. Anko knew it was more or less a cleverly disguised order. We're fine, Hokage-sama, Anko informed her leader. What she said, Gigi, Naruto parroted. Good. Now would either of you care to explain where you were for the last couple of hours? No one from the barrier team or the sensory team could locate your whereabouts. Nor could I, for that matter. Here he gave them a pointed look. Damn it. Should have known Hokage-sama kept regular tabs on the kid. It made sense given the boy was both a surrogate grandson to the village leader and was the warden of the deadliest and most powerful of the 9-tailed beasts. We were gone that long. Naruto honestly hadn't bothered keeping track of time. However, Naruto almost winced at the look directed at him by his village leader. You wouldn't believe me if I told you, Gigi, Naruto replied. It was the honest truth, too. What could he say without sounding like a complete nutcase in the eyes of many? It also didn't help that Naruto wanted to keep this secret a secret for as long as possible. Hiruzen remained silent for the longest time, though in reality it could have been shorter. You're certain you have nothing more to say, Naruto? Hiruzen inquired, his eyes as Hokage telling him there was more to the matter than let on. Though it pained him to lie to his surrogate grandfather, Naruto merely responded with, No. Hiruzen did nothing but look at Naruto for a moment or two before nodding. Very well. Seeing as neither of you are injured, I'll let it slide this time. Off you go then, he told the dismissed blonde. Naruto was stunned but merely nodded and left the office. Anko, Hiruzen spoke with a firm and even tone, which immediately held the Tukubestu Jonin's attention. I don't know what you two did, nor where you went, and somehow I'm getting the impression I probably don't want to know right now. Years in office had given Hiruzen great political insight on when and when not to press an issue. Hiruzen had every intention of knowing what happened to the two decided to take a less straightforward approach to the situation. Trust me, Hokage-sama, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. Anko still had no idea how it was possible, or how to even properly give it justice. Hiruzen held up his hand to stop her from saying any more. Like I said, I probably don't want to know. For now, keep an eye on him for me. I've known that boy since he first came into this world, and Naruto-kun seldom puts his trust in others. I can basically count the number he does on my hands. It's clear to me you've earned that trust, and I'd hate to take it away by forcing you to tell me what transpired. Had either of them been severely injured, it would have been another matter. Entirely. You want me to spy on the Gaki? Anko asked, half surprised and half insulted her leader would request such a thing. No, not spy. Keep him out of trouble. I'm old, but I haven't lasted this long as Hokage by being unobservant. I know Naruto well enough to know that he will tell me what's going when he feels ready. Until then, I need eyes on him to make certain he doesn't put himself in danger. Or, at the very least, he's prepared to deal with whatever dangers he might be facing. He clarified. No offense, Hokage-sama, but that still kinda sounds like spying, the Kunoichi rebuked. Hiruzen laughed. Yes, I guess it does in a way, he conceded. To him, there was a difference between spying and looking out for another. But even then, the lines blurred at times. I do this because I worry for that boy. He's endured hardship few can relate to. Unfortunately, he's ill-prepared for what lies ahead, and I worry what might happen to him. Having seen him in action along with Midori's testimony, Anko knew her leader wasn't far from the truth. It also made her wonder if Hiruzen meant Naruto getting hurt in some shape or form, or others decided to put Naruto to use through other means that were less than stellar. So, how should I go about making sure he won't get his ass in the fire? The Kunoichi asked. Hiruzen told her 2 words clearly and concisely. 2 words that would change her life forever. Mentor him. Sometime later with Naruto. Naruto wandered around Konoha with little thought to where he was going, at the moment, and ignoring the daily looks and whispers directed his way. Idly did he realize that Anko had been given the same treatment, too. Whether or not it was due to him being with her or something she herself had done was unknown. What to do? What to do? Naruto murmured. Training was an option, but most training fields for academy students were restricted due to an incident he had been a part of. It was one of the few times where it hadn't been his fault. At least, not entirely, but most still saw it that way. Either way, that was a no-go at the moment. Not like I got any decent gear anyway. His current attire left much to be desired despite him liking the look. The upper jumpsuit was pretty much useless now, and his pants were pretty much on their way to being in the same state. He could use his equipment gear maintenance skill to restore the pants, but even then it wouldn't do much. The upper armor was now labeled as broken. His skill wasn't high enough to deal with that kind of status effect. Getting new gear it is then, Naruto said. You thinking of getting some gear? Ah. Naruto yelled, causing many witnesses to look at him with wide eyes, most being replaced by frowns or scowls for disrupting their peaceful day with his sudden and unwanted outburst. Anko! Don't do that! Not my fault you suck at detecting me, the Kunoichi retorted. But again, you thinking about getting some new duds. Yeah. Naruto had every intention of going back into the dungeon when he had the chance. Having better gear would make things much easier, though. You do know that as a minor you're limited on what you can get, right? Minor? I'm 13 years old, he practically shouted. Ah, good for you. You've entered the awkward stage of your life? Anko patted and ruffled his head like a dog. Quit it. Naruto batted away her hands. Why the hell can't I get what I want? Never said that. I said you're limited. Until you graduate and become a fully fledged ninja, you need an adult or guardian to sign off on what you can buy. We're a village that makes ninja, but we're not stupid. Think of the bad rep we'd get if we allowed just anyone to buy a weapon. Not to mention the lawsuits. Had this still been Konoha during its early years, no one would have cared, but laws had since been put into place for a reason. Great. I'm an orphan living on my own, so I'm screwed, Naruto scowled. Not true, Gaki. From her fishnet mesh shirt top, Anko produced a piece of paper. By order of Hokage-sama, I'm now your guardian? At least until you graduate, she forewent, saying she was being paid a low B-rank mission wage a month by the man to look after him. Did you have to bring did you have to bring it out like that? He corrected himself and hoped he'd been quick enough. However, Anko's smirk told him it was too late. Damn it! Did I get a reaction out of you? Seeing him blush and try to hide it miserably only confirmed her suspicions. Oh, who's a horny little bastard? Anko teased, pressing his face into her generous chest and becoming the envy of several passers-by. Oh, Kami, please kill me. Naruto had a deep appreciation of the female body. He had for quite some time now, and wouldn't have created his Iroke no Jutsu, sexy technique. And he wouldn't have minded this had a bunch of other people not been around to witness this. Ironic considering he wasn't afraid to use his patented sexy technique in public. Maybe later. Bottom line is, Gaki, your ass is mine from now on till you graduate, or if you die from my methods. Whichever comes first, she shrugged. Oh joy. Naruto could only imagine the horrors that awaited him. Finally getting out of her grasp, her releasing him would be a more accurate description. Naruto asked in a hushed tone. Did you tell him about your reality? Binding dimension hopping to a post-apocalyptic world, filled with undead that give you money and other goods if you kill him. No, but it doesn't mean he doesn't suspect something's up. Pretty sure you know that too, Naruto nodded. I'll tell him. Just not now, and when the time is right, he promised her. Anko merely nodded and already suspected as such from what her leader told her about Naruto. So, guardian. Where to next then? Depends. How much do you have? She asked, half serious, half curious. After your cut and what I saved up. Naruto quickly looked it up and then answered. A little over 32,000 ryo? Not bad, it wasn't great, but the amount was enough to get Naruto some decent beginner gear. Okay, next stop is Higurashi's shinobi arms. Higurashi's? Isn't that in the ritzy part of Konoha? Naruto recalled. Good memory. And yeah, it is. The place is high-end but worth the dough. You don't want gear that crap out on you when you're out in the field. It can mean a matter of life and death, she informed him before leaping away. Following after her, Naruto landed in front of a building approximately 5 minutes later. The moment he entered did the sight of various weapons, ninja tools, and protective gear enter his vision. From katana to tantos, light to plated armor, and shuriken to custom-made kunai. All in all, everything looked to be in prestigious order. Whoa, Naruto was in awe at what he saw. Pretty much sums it. Anko had reacted the same way when she first came in here. Place has been here since Konoha's founding. Like I said, it's pricey compared to the other places. But if you want top-notch quality goods that won't quit on ya, this is the place to get 'em. Nice to hear you say that, Anko. Naruto turned towards the counter and spotted a tall 6'4" man with an eye patch. Who's the kid? Thought you said you'd give up Dango before mentoring? Did. I don't remember saying that. I believe your exact words were, and I quote, I'd rather give up Dango than teach some snot-nosed brats who wouldn't know shit on how to use kunai or shuriken, even if their lives depended on it. Remember now? The man asked an embarrassed-looking Kunoichi. To be fair, you were pretty drunk at the time. But you being you, I thought you'd remember it anyways. I'll take your word for it. Anyway, I thought it was high time Konoha needed another me. So I'm just giving the Gaki a few pointers on raising a little hell, Anko said. Another. Anko, should I be worried? The man laughed and ducked under a hail of shuriken. His laughing never stopped. I have a feeling she's gonna be a bad influence, Naruto guessed, but put that thought away as he was approached by the tall man. Now that he was closer, Naruto saw that the man was pretty darn muscular and had a variety of scars along his arms. Tetsumaru, friends call me Tetsu. Owner of this fine establishment and retired ninja, The man introduced himself. If his appearance wasn't proof enough, Naruto didn't doubt that he was a former ninja the way he held himself. Tetsu's arms were the size of Naruto's head, tan skin, dark brown hair, and goatee, with a wicked scar that went along his right eye with an eye patch covering it up. He was pretty good looking and had a very good build, and it was evident that he was all muscle and little to no fat. It made Naruto wonder why the man was no longer a ninja. He looked pretty strong in his books. "Why aren't you a ninja anymore?" In typically Naruto manner, the boy was blunt and to the point. Anko mentally face-palmed. Note to self: teach him about subtlety and tact. Tetsu merely smirked. "You don't beat around the bush, do you, kid? Your lack of thinking and tact has resulted in 50 reputation with Anko." Crap! Naruto was mentally kicking himself. "Sorry." "Bah, no harm done, kid," he said, and slapped the boy on the back as a show of good faith, accidentally knocking Naruto over face into the ground in the process. "Ow," Naruto groaned from the floor. "Oops, scrawny little thing, aren't ya?" He laughed as he helped a grumbling Naruto up. "Anyways, to answer your question, I'm a widower. My wife passed away several years back, and I've been raising our daughter by myself. My girl's tough as nails, but took to losing her mother kinda hard, even if she didn't show it. Didn't want her growing up without a parent, and being a shinobi is an occupational hazard, so I retired from active duty and began training her when she said she wanted to become a kunoichi. Oh yeah, didn't little Ten-chan graduate this year?" Anko asked, having gotten acquainted with the man's daughter through her visits. "Yep, kunoichi of the year," he puffed out with pride. "Being taught by Mato Guy of all people, so it's mostly me here with a few workers now that she's a genin." Guy's teaching students. Anko was shocked, and Naruto saw what he thought was a brief look of sympathy. "Oh, those poor brats. How's she holding up?" "Well," here Tetsu dragged the word, "let's just say she's happy. One of her team members is normal." "That bad?" "She's been with them for a few months, and while she can tolerate him and his little mini-me, she's still not used to it," was another way of putting it. But make no mistake, Guy's one of Konoha's elite jonin for a reason. Anko wouldn't dispute that claim. Eccentric as Gay was, and that was putting it very lightly, like Kakashi, the man was not only one of Konoha's strongest jonin, but high no kunis as well. "Anyways, you two obviously didn't come here to talk." Tetsu got down to business. "What can I do for you?" "Not much for me, really, but the Gaki here is in need of equipment," Anko told him. "He's frugal, so he's got about 32,000 ryo on him. Decent amount. Though, to be frank, that kind of money won't get you some of our better equipment or weapons, other than shuriken and kunai and a few stacks of your common variety. Exploding tags, but we do have some decent protective gear for beginners in that price range over there. Just holler if you need help. Got an order that needs some attention at the moment." "Thanks." Naruto proceeded to browse through the selection before spotting something in a box. "Hey, nice." Found some. What the hell? Anko couldn't believe what he was holding. In his hands was another orange jumpsuit with blue on the upper shoulders area, as well as around the waist, a white swirl with a tassel on the left side, a red swirl crest on the back, a large white collar, orange pants wrapped around from the hang. "What do you think? Looks cool, huh?" Naruto grinned at the find. Anko's eye, however, merely twitched. "Gaki, step away from that monstrosity and no one gets hurt." "What? But it's cool, orange, and cheap, and orange." Naruto whined and held the outfit protectively. Good point," Anko lied. "Really?" "Hell no!" she shouted. "What's going on here?" Tetsu asked. "I leave not 10 seconds and—" "What the hell is that?" He pointed at the outfit. "My new outfit I found?" "Okay, rephrase. What the hell is that doing in my store? This is a premium shop. There's no way in hell I'd have something like that here," Tetsu stated before realization dawned on him. 10. "Huh?" "Nothing." Tetsu waved him off. His daughter was a good kunoichi and had a great deal of interest and understanding with weapons, but got very obsessive and narrow-minded when new ninja tools came in. However, this wasn't the same case when it came to armor and clothing. It was obvious that it slipped her mind when she signed the forms. "Where'd you find that anyway?" "In that box over there, why?" Naruto pointed behind him. Marching over, Tetsu briefly opened the box, closed it just as quickly, took Naruto's outfit before he had time to react, disappeared into the back of his store, before coming back out seconds later. "Well, that ought to keep the fires going for a while." Tetsu dusted his hands. "But it was orange." Naruto didn't understand the big deal. "It was an eyesore, had no business in my store, and with all that bright kill-on-sight color, you might as well wear a target sign that said 'Come and kill me, world.' Ninja are to appear like normal civilians, but the moment you get in a fight, you're the most likely to be targeted because of how much it makes you stand out," Tetsu finished. "He's right, Daki. You wear that, and you'll likely be targeted more so than your teammates cause it makes you stand out. It's too vibrant to make proper sneak attacks. You'd have to resort to luck. You want to wear orange, do so outside of combat," Anko advised him. She doubted she'd get him to stop wearing the color altogether, so at least she'd minimize the amount. "All right, enough criticism on his fashion sense. Arms up," Tetsu ordered and began taking some quick measurements of Naruto. After a few minutes passed, the man began picking out a few ensembles for the boy. "Here you go. Have a gander. Basic ninja training tunic. Common quality. Item type. Upper body armor. Durability 45. Ordinary and basic protective upper armor used by ninja in training when they practice mock fighting or physical exercises. May not look like much, but is decently durable. Buffs. Perks. 5D. Set. Completion. First bonus. 1-3. Lock. Set. Completion. Second bonus. 1-5. Lock. Basic ninja training pants. Common quality. Item type. Pants body armor. Durability 45. Ordinary and basic protective pants armor used by ninja in training when they practice mock fighting or physical exercises. May not look like much, but is decently durable. Buffs. Perks. 5D. Set. Completion. First bonus. 1-3. Lock. Set. Completion. Second bonus. 1-5. Lock. Basic ninja training gloves. Common quality. Item type. Hand armor. Durability 30-30. Ordinary and basic protective hand armor used by ninja in training. The material used in these gloves offers a decent amount of protection and allows for one to strike harder. Buffs. Perks. 4. Set. Completion. First bonus. 1-3. Lock. Set. Completion. Second bonus. 1-5. Lock. Basic ninja training boots. Common quality. Item type. Foot armor. Durability 30-30. Ordinary and basic protective foot armor used by ninja in training. May not look like much, but is decently durable and allows for swift footwork. Buffs. Perks. 4. Set. Completion. First bonus. 1-3. Lock. Set. Completion. Second bonus. 1-5. Lock. Basic ninja training. Utility belt. Common quality. Item type. Waist armor. Durability 25-25. Ordinary and basic protective waist armor used by ninja in training that is also used to hold pouches of kunai or shuriken. Buffs. Perks. 3. DF. Set. Completion. First bonus. 1-3. Lock. Set. Completion. Second bonus. 1-5. Lock. Dark orange undershirt. Common quality. Item type: undershirt accessory. Durability: 2020. An ordinary shirt that is mainly used for fashion instead of defense. Buffs. Perks: 1. Death. Naruto had to admit that it was a heck of a lot better than what he had before, and it looked pretty decent too with the orange undershirt. Hey, Gaki, hurry up! Initially frowning at the words, said look was soon replaced by a smirk as an idea popped into his head. Iroke no jutsu? Sexy technique? Hearing the opening of the door, Tetsu and Anko looked his way. However, instead of seeing Naruto clad in his new training ensemble, they saw a nude smoke-wisped covered Mitarashi Anko. You called, was the doppelganger's sultry response. For Tetsu, the effect was instantaneous as the man was launched into a wall, thanks to the sudden nosebleed. Your actions have resulted in 500. Reputation with Higurashi Tetsumaru. Don't know if I should be creeped out or happy about that, Naruto thought as looked upon the unconscious Tetsu. Either way, he'd take the positive reputation gain. Was Anko's response. First off, my breasts are bigger than that. If you're gonna transform into me, get it right, Gaki. To say he was stunned by her response was an enormous understatement, huh? Secondly, you're a couple of inches shorter than I am. Work on it. Thirdly, god damn, I look good. Anko looked at herself. I knew I was good looking, but to see it like this, damn. Here she gave her own breasts a squeeze. Nice and firm, at least. What the hell? Back to normal. Naruto wondered why his plan didn't work. The breasts touching thing had been weird as hell too. You're 100 years too early to try and pull a fast one like that on me, she smirked. If you think me seeing myself naked would get a rise out of me, you're dead wrong. I sleep all natural for one. And Kunoichi and Shinobi do missions that sometimes require us to use a little more physical interaction and sex appeal in order to get the job done. Naruto understood the meaning and blushed a bit. Better luck next time, she grinned before looking him over. Gotta say though, not bad. Good look for you. Hell of a lot better than that jumpsuit you found. Any perks? She asked. Recalling the set bonuses that came with them, Naruto took a quick look to see what he got. Basic ninja training set complete, first bonus, I3 sex. 10% effectiveness and power towards E rank and D rank skills. Basic ninja training set complete, second bonus, I5. 10% additional XP towards E rank and D rank skills. Decent boost towards E and D level skills, but that's pretty much it. It was an okay bonus, but Naruto had expected such a thing considering it was basic. Level armor. Don't dism. I'll admit, aside some techniques like Kawarimi and Henge, most E and D level techniques aren't of much use down the line, but they act as a basis for the more effective techniques you learn. Anko lectured him. The act almost had Naruto comparing her to Iruka were it not for her provocative attire and her unique demeanor. Both Anko and Naruto heard Tetsu groan as he woke up. Damn, I just had the weirdest dream. Oh, wait. So, Tetsu, like what you saw. Anko emphasized it by pressing her breasts together and not so subtly thrusting them forward, getting a rise out of him. Damn it. Should have known having two of you would be trouble. The man cursed and thanked his luck that Anko hadn't managed to influence 10 the rare times he had her look after the girl. After dusting himself off and cleaning away the blood from his nostrils, Tetsumaru gave Naruto a good look over. Not bad. Not bad at all. Better than that jumpsuit anyway. Thanks. How much? Naruto asked. Like I said, my stuff isn't cheap. Even the basic stuff is pricey, so that will be about 8,000 ryo per set. You get a discount if you buy 3 sets, and I'll even throw in a book on intermediate shuriken and kunai techniques, along with a book on intermediate academy level. Taijutsu, Naruto recalled. How many usually tried to charge that much for just 2 sets, despite the fact they weren't the greatest of protective gear? This gear, while much pricier, was made of material that was much stronger and durable than the ones used by civilian clothing stores. Thanks, but I already have a book on the intermediate shuriken and kunai jutsu, though even then it wasn't like he had been able to put the intermediate shuriken jutsu and kunai jutsu skill to much use recently. Think you can throw in a book on the advanced stuff instead? Only if you still buy the 3 sets. Tetsu liked Naruto, but business was business. Deal! Naruto agreed and handed over a total of 22,000 ryo. Oh Gaki, you've a thing or two to learn about bartering. Anko merely added that to the list of things to teach him. While seldom used, bartering was still a useful skill to have under one's belt. You good now? I was wondering if there was enough left for a decent weapon. Naruto asked. While he liked Shishoyo and its abilities, it was more geared towards undead beings. As enemies got stronger, it would start to become a less effective weapon. If we're talking about something other than shuriken and kunai, then no. My weapons go for 60,000 ryo or more, Tetsu informed a floored Naruto. Naruto realized he'd have to go into the zombie dungeon and defeat the Legion zombie 3 times just to earn that much. Told you he was pricey, Anko reaffirmed. Pricey, but you get what you pay for. However, before we even go there, I need to ask a few questions. Any weapon experience other than with kunai or shuriken? More than once would newly graduates, or those who wanted a weapon, would buy something thinking it was cool when Tetsu was out, and later came back to try and return their purchase because they had no idea how to use it, or it felt off. I used a lead pipe a few times, does that count? Naruto asked and missed Anko face palming behind him. Lead pipe? That was definitely a new one in his books, Anko. Gaki used one against a wooden post to strengthen himself when he could afford a real weapon. Anko covered for her new ward. She added another thing to list of things to brush up on. Lying. Tetsu thought nothing more of it, and believed the kunoichi, so experience with blunt weapons. Not much of a selection in that category given that most ninja go for bladed weapons. Unless you're from Iwa. Take a look and see if anything catches your eye, Tetsu pointed at the wall. As Naruto went through them all, he couldn't help but drool a bit at how awesome the weapons were. The kanabo and nunchucks he saw were at the moment beyond him due to his dex and star being too low. The bio staff Naruto had to admit was pretty good, but felt a bit off to him. Tetsu had said it was most likely the size was too long since they averaged at near 6 feet, and gave him a smaller one. Fairly long still, but it felt more comfortable. As he tried the rest of them, Naruto had to say that he currently felt more comfortable with the hanbo and tanbo. More so with the hanbo, as the feeling was similar to when he used his pipe or shishoyo. Anything else? He asked. Sorry, kid, but that's all the blunt weapons I have. Like I said, ninja use mostly bladed weapons. You can take a look at the bladed weapons over there if you like. Giving it a shot, as there wasn't anything to lose, Naruto's eyes wandered over the multiple swords that ranged from small than his arm to being twice as long as his body. He had to admit, while his current weapon was good, it would make more sense for him to have a proper weapon such as a tanto, wakizashi, ninjato, or some sort of bladed weapon. Then again, conforming to the norm wasn't really his style. The only problem that kept coming up. They're too expensive, Naruto wanted to cry. All of Tetsu's weapons were all ranked as Yum-Kamen and Orei, and had incredible attack power, but each one he saw were priced well over 60,000 ryo. Hell, one kanabo he saw was priced at a whopping 110,000. If he busted his ass, Naruto knew he could earn the amount of money needed for such weapons. However, him suddenly coming here with said required amount with his background would raise a lot of questions. For thinking things through, your int has increased by 1. As he continued to look at the array of bladed weapons, Naruto's eyes were suddenly locked on to a very large sword, red and black blade, the size of a man that hung above the others like a trophy. What's that? Casting a look at where Naruto was looking, Tetsu merely chuckled. Good taste, but I'm proud to say that ain't for sale. That baby's mine. What is it? That's a Zanbato, horse-slaying sword. And sorry kid, but there's no way in hell you're gonna be able to lift Zanma, decapitating demon, as you are now. Took me years to get the physical strength and experience I needed to use it at its max. Hung her up there when I retired. If you want one, you're gonna have to show me you have the required strength, and only then will I make a special order, and that isn't cheap, especially for a Zanbato. Can't be that heavy, Naruto said. That sword there weighs a little over 250 kilograms. That's a little over 550 pounds, and that's with seals on it to make it lighter? He elaborated to a bug-eyed Naruto. Yeah, mastering a Zanbato is an arduous and time-consuming task, but very rewarding if you ask me. Few to none can stand up to their blows because of the sheer force behind them. Their bulk makes them act like a club just as well as a sword too, so they make good anti-armor weapons. Think you got what it takes to get yourself that fit. Quest alert. Basic. Mastery of the horse-slaying sword. Main quest. Increase Esther to 110 to be able to wield a Zanbato class sword. Secondary. Main quest. Increase bladed weapon mastery to journeyman level. Main quest completion. 8,500 XP. 3 attribute points. 1,000. Reputation. Tetsumaru. Secondary. Main quest completion. 6,500 XP. 500 reputation. 2 Tetsumaru. Wong. Accept. Quest. Yes. No. Quest is optional and can be taken at any time. He wasn't kidding when he said it would be heavy. Naruto's current star level was 15, and he needed over 7 times that much just to wield that class of sword. But before he accepted something that would take a lot of time and effort, Naruto asked the weapon shop owner for a demonstration. The man merely grinned a deadly-looking grin before he freed Zanma from its holding place and excused himself momentarily. When he was done doing what he needed to do, Tetsu called both Anko and Naruto to the back of the store, and into the woods behind it, where he directed them both to a training field with various wooden dummies, tree posts, and metal beams the size of an adult. As Tetsu began stretching and rolling his neck, he gave Naruto a few words of advice. Been a while since I've done this, but try not to blink, kid. Blink. Naruto had no time to think of anything else as Tetsu grabbed his sword and vanished in the blink of an eye. Wind and dust rushed towards him, and 2 dummies were bifurcated at the waist, and then from head to groin, the ground beneath them cleaving open like a ruptured wound. Unbelievable to his eyes, Naruto saw the metal beams slowly fall to pieces when various cuts from different angles became more and more pronounced. Each piece landed with an audible thud that shook the ground he stood on. A few pieces still suspended in mid-air were batted away like balls from a bat as Tetsu appeared in between them. The pieces pierced and embedded themselves in the nearby trees, as though they weren't there in the first place. Naruto knew enough about Konoha's trees to know they were easily the largest, thickest, and strongest of trees on the continent. He remembered how the old man said that cutting them required using especially skilled and strong individuals. It was a testament of how physically powerful the man before was, despite his claim at being retired. So distracted by the act was he that Naruto didn't realize that Zanma was sailing towards him with the intent of releasing his head from his shoulders. By the time he did, Naruto realized that he'd be dead had Tetsu not stopped the blade less than a hair length away from his neck. The hell! Naruto finally reacted, fell on his ass, and could only look between the blade and the one wielding it. You were distracted. Never get distracted, the man advised. But as you can plainly see, even with me out of touch, I still got the moves. I don't know. I think you've slowed down with your old age, Anko teased. I'm 37, Anko, the man deadpanned. Yeah, like I said, old age. She stood by what she said. I'm not old, Tetsumaru shouted childishly before recomposing himself. As you can see, worth the time and effort, the man grinned. Needless to say, by the time they got back to the shop, Naruto accepted the quest without question. Any questions? Naruto actually didn't have any at that moment, but he couldn't help but ask, "Why do you call your sword Zanma?" In response, Tetsu merely rummaged through some things before tossing him a little black book. "Bingo. Book? What's that?" Tetsu merely looked at Anko with a disbelieving look, mouthing, "Really? Her way," which she merely sighed. Definitely needs an overhaul. Anko wondered if the pay was worth the headache she was likely to be facing down the line. Bottom line, when a ninja does certain things, they sometimes get themselves put into that book. Usually a person's name is put in there for things they did in a war against the enemy, defected, stole, have critical knowledge, or they did horrible things. Immediately, a window popped up in front of Naruto when he finished. Bounty. Hunting. There are many ways for one to earn money in the world. One of the most lucrative ways is collecting bounties. Bounties are placed on individuals for a multitude of reasons, such as actions done against enemy factions, attacking others and villages, or for being a nukenin. The value of bounties vary in different countries for different reasons, as some may pay more for the corpse, while others will pay less. Some bounties will even require the individual to be brought in alive. Bounties, much like missions, are separated into categories: D, C, B, A, S, and above. Note: depending on the individual, a bounty can have either negative or positive outcomes, such as the gratitude of a village or the wrath of a lover, clan, or family. Note: the rank of an individual in the bingo books doesn't always relate to their strength, as some may simply have stolen valuable information or irreplaceable items from a village. Average D rank bounties: 30,000, 49,999. Average C rank bounties: 50,149,099. Average B rank bounties: 150,999,090. Average A rank bounties: 1,079,999,099. Average S rank bounties: 80,149,999,999. Above S rank bounties: 149,999,999. Browsing through it, Naruto came upon Tetsu's page. Did his eyes bulged out? 29 million Ryo with Iwa and Kumo, but 60 million Ryo with Kiri. He looked at the grinning man. Naruto had suspected from the display he put on, but if what he read was true, it meant the man was an A-rank ninja. In other words, Tetsu was a former jonin. What the hell did you do? Tetsu merely gave him a blank look as he pointed to the book in his hands. Oh right, Naruto realized that it was a dumb thing to say. Wanted for killing Juzo Biwa of the 7 ninja swordsmen of Kiri, aka the Kikon no Kishin, blood-soaked demon. 7 ninja swordsmen of Kiri. Who are they? Both. Senior ninja could only sigh heavily once more. Think of them as Kiri's best of the best, and second only to their Kage in terms of strength. Don't get me wrong, Juzo Biwa was very strong, but his encounter with one of our own, may he rest in peace, weakened him. Heard Kiri wanted to replace him with another potential swordsman, and he set out to prove he was still fit for action. He started slaughtering civilian women, children, men, and ninja in our borders without mercy. And some of them being my own family. Tetsumaru's face turned ugly as memories from the incident came flooding back. Killing intent was briefly leaked, and Naruto was glad for Agamer's Mind protecting him. Anko had merely frowned. Anyway, I tracked that bastard down and fought him several days later and chopped off his head. He took my eye out in the process, though. Didn't care in the slightest. That psychopath was too dangerous and insane to be left alive, so it was worth the loss. That's how Zanma earned her name, and I was called Zanmato, no Tetsumaru. Tetsu of the decapitating demon blade? I got a very nice nest egg from him too. Tetsu finished with a grin. The man nearly fainted when he collected the bounty on the man's head. His wife, however, did faint. So that's why you're in the bingo books? Well, partly. Here the man was slightly embarrassed. Huh? After finishing off, Juzo Tetsu here got it into his head to take the Kubikira Bocho, decapitating carving knife. Juzo's weapon back with him to Konoha. Anko jumped in,